Chapter 388. Lu Yiping wasn't disappointed when he saw that Jian Shu had grown to over 286,000 meters. Although Jian Shu was still 10,000 meters short, as long as he could find the Dark Borer race's headquarters in the Flying Dragon continent, Jian Shu would definitely grow to 300,000 meters. Moreover, Lu Yiping had learned from the Yin Chi's memories that the Dark Borer race was also looking for the Fortune Jade Disc. There might even be a Fortune Jade Disc in the Dark Borer race's treasury. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao collected all the treasures in the treasury before leaving the Dark Devil race's lair. After leaving the Dark Devil race's lair, they headed straight to the Heavenly Divine Sect. There were still a few years before the Divine World's Convention of Myriad Races began. Thus, Huang Xiaolong wasn't in a hurry to rush to the Flying Dragon continent. When the convention began, the Dark Borer race's leader in the upper world would appear. However, when Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao passed by some cities on their way to the Heavenly Divine Sect, they overheard some disciples discussing the Heavenly Divine Sect. I heard that something happened to the Heavenly Ruler in the Flying Dragon continent a few days ago. He competed with the Heaven Stabilizing Ruler in array formation and was trapped by the Heaven Stabilizing Ruler's Blood Sea Chaos Demon array. Heaven Stabilizing Ruler. The Heaven Stabilizing Ruler is one of our Divine World's top 10 array masters. Isn't Heavenly Ruler courting death by competing with him in array formation? It seems like the Heaven Stabilizing Ruler's disciple injured Heavenly Ruler's disciple. Taurus Longjiao frowned when he heard this. Trapped by the Blood Sea Chaos Demon array. He knew that the Blood Sea Chaos Demon array was created by a Supreme Devil Lord in the ancient times. Several days later, the two arrived at the Heavenly Divine Sect. The Heavenly Divine Sect was the #1 sect in the Heavenly Water continent. Compared to the past, the Heavenly Divine Sect was a little desolate. The Heavenly Divine Sect's disciple was standing guard at the entrance with a listless expression. Seeing Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao approaching, the Heavenly Divine Sect's disciple cupped his fists and said, "May I know what business you have in coming to my Heavenly Divine Sect? Our Heavenly Divine Sect has already announced to the outside world that we are temporarily declining all visitors." Lu Yiping glanced at the disciple and said, "My name is Lu Yiping. I have something to discuss with your sect master." Lu Yiping. When the Heavenly Divine Sect's disciple heard the name, he didn't think too much about it, but he felt that the name was familiar. The other Heavenly Divine Sect's disciple's eyes widened in shock as he looked at Lu Yiping excitedly. "You're the Great Ancestor." Grand Ancestor. The other Heaven Mystic Divine Sect's disciples trembled. At this time, the atmosphere in the Heavenly Maze Divine Sect's main hall was heavy. The Heavenly Maze Divine Sect's sect chief Chen Ruifeng's brows were tightly furrowed, and the ancestors of the Heavenly Maze Divine Sect sat in the main hall. Not a single one of them spoke. Chao Rui sighed and said, "What do you all think we should do about the ancestors' matter?" Chao Rui was an invincible paramount god, the second strongest expert of the Heaven Maze Divine Sect. The Heaven Mystic Divine Sect's sect master Chen Ruifeng said solemnly, "I'll make a trip to the Flying Dragon continent personally." Chao Rui shook his head, "Even if all of us go to the Flying Dragon continent, it's useless. Even the Great Ancestor couldn't break the Blood Sea Chaos Demon array, it's pointless for us to go." While everyone was frowning, a Grand Elder rushed into the hall with an excited expression on his face. He was panting heavily as he said, "Sect Master, Lord Chao Rui, the Great Ancestor is here." Chen Ruifeng, Chao Rui, and the others were stunned for a moment before jumping to their feet. "What did you say?" "The Great Ancestor is here." Chen Ruifeng couldn't believe it. "It's the Cosmic Saint, the Great Ancestor?" "Yes, it's the Cosmic Saint, the Great Ancestor." The Grand Elder exclaimed excitedly, "The Great Ancestor is right outside. Quick! Everyone, come with me to welcome the Great Ancestor." Chao Rui shouted excitedly, and he was the first to rush out of the hall. Chen Ruifeng and the other ancestors also rushed out of the hall. Just as Chao Rui, Chen Ruifeng, and the other ancestors were rushing out of the hall, the other Grand Elders, elders, and core disciples of the Heaven-Maze Divine Sect also rushed out after hearing the news. Chao Rui, Qin Ruifeng, and the others were rushing towards the entrance. From afar, they could see the blue-robed figure standing with his hands clasped behind his back. Chao Rui, Qin Ruifeng, and the others became even more excited. However, Chao Rui, Qin Ruifeng, and the others descended from the sky, not daring to fly in front of the great ancestor. Finally, Chao Rui, Qin Ruifeng, and the others arrived 100 meters away from Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Chao Rui, Qin Ruifeng, and the others stopped 100 meters away, not daring to get any closer. All of them knelt on the ground, prostrating. Heaven-Maze Divine Sect's Chao Rui, Qin Ruifeng, greet the great ancestor. Great ancestor, long live the great ancestor. The cheers of the Heaven-Maze Divine Sect's ancestors, grand elders, and core disciples reverberated through the Jotian skies, shaking the Jotian clouds. This was the sound of excitement, the sound of hope. Rise. Lu Yiping spoke, and without any movement, the Heaven-Maze Divine Sect's Zhongzhong and the others felt an invisible force lifting them up. Great ancestor, you're finally here. Chao Rui couldn't suppress his excitement, and his eyes turned red. I heard some things on the way here, let's go in first. Lu Yiping said. Chao Rui, Qin Ruifeng, and the others complied respectfully. Under the welcoming of Chao Rui, Qin Ruifeng, and the other experts, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao entered the Heaven-Maze Divine Sect's entrance. Upon arriving at the Heaven-Maze Divine Sect's main hall, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao sat down and asked about the Heaven-Maze Sovereign. Chao Rui, Qin Ruifeng, and the others didn't dare to hide anything, and reported everything they knew to Lu Yiping. On the way here, Lu Yiping had only heard about the Heaven-Maze Sovereign from hearsay, thus he wasn't very clear about what had happened. After listening to Chao Rui, Qin Ruifeng, and the others' reports, he finally understood what had happened. It turned out that the Heaven-Maze Sovereign's disciple, Feng Hui, had received orders from the Heaven-Maze Sovereign to head to the Flying Dragon continent to purchase a batch of chaos spiritual herbs. At the Flying Dragon City's market, Feng Hui had encountered the Heaven-Maze Sovereign's disciple, Feng Yujie. Feng Hui and Feng Yujie had a grudge against each other in the past. Feng Yujie and his subordinates had attacked Feng Hui, and they had crushed all the chaos spiritual herbs Feng Hui had purchased. The Heaven-Maze Sovereign had rushed to the Flying Dragon continent, and that was why he had competed with the Heaven-Maze Sovereign. Where's Feng Hui? Lu Yiping asked. Chao Rui stammered, he was detained by Feng Yujie in the Flying Dragon City. That's why the ancestor rushed to the Flying Dragon continent. We don't know if he's dead or alive. Detained in the Flying Dragon City, and we don't know if he's dead or alive. Taurus Longjiao's eyes turned frosty. Chao Rui hesitated for a moment, then said, there's news that the Heaven-Maze Sovereign has a close relationship with the Lord of the Immortal World. Oh, the Lord of the Immortal World. Lu Yiping didn't bat an eyelid. The Immortal World was the leader of the myriad worlds, stronger than the Divine World, Dragon World, Demon World, and Devil World. The Lord of the Immortal World could be said to be the strongest person in the myriad of worlds. Lu Yiping patted his robe, stood up, and said to Taurus Longjiao, let's go to the Flying Dragon continent. Initially, Huang Xiaolong had planned to stay at the Heaven-Maze Divine Sect for a few days, but since this matter had happened, he and Taurus Longjiao no longer had the mood to stay. Chapter 389. Hearing that Lu Yiping wanted to leave the Flying Dragon continent, Chao Rui, Qin Ruifeng, and the others hurriedly opened their mouths and said that they would lead the way for Lu Yiping. No need. Lu Yiping shook his head, just the two of us will be enough. The two of you can stay in the Heaven-Maze Divine Sect and wait for news. Chao Rui, Qin Ruifeng, and the rest didn't dare to disobey and could only comply. Under the escort of the Heaven-Maze Divine Sect's experts, Lu Yiping and Huang Xiaolong tore through space and disappeared into the horizon in the blink of an eye. Qin Ruifeng looked in the direction in which Lu Yiping had disappeared and said, Great Ancestor will definitely be able to rescue Great Ancestor. Chao Rui's eyes were filled with worry. He said, Rumor has it that the great ancestor is very decisive when it comes to killing. I hope he doesn't kill the Sky Dominator. If he does, he will definitely offend the Lord of the Immortal Realm. When Chen Ruifeng and the others heard this, their hearts sank. Although their great ancestor was known as the Saint of Heaven and Earth, the Lord of the Immortal World was known as the number one person in the myriad of worlds. His cultivation was unfathomable. There was no saint in the God realm, but the Immortal Realm, the leader of the 10,000 realms, had a saint. The Lord of the Immortal Realm was also a Tao-confirming sage. Moreover, the ruler of the Immortal World controlled the Immortal World's heavenly court and had countless experts under his command. The barbaric dragon sovereign of the past couldn't compare to him. Every time the meeting of the myriad worlds was held, the world lords would have to pay respects to the ruler of the Immortal World. Although the barbarian dragon sovereign was the ruler of the divine world, he still had to be respectful to the ruler of the Immortal World. After Lu Yiping and Huang Xiaolong left the Heavenly Divine Sect, they did not stop to rest. Soon, they left the Heavenly Water mainland and arrived at the ancient Devil continent. Not long after, the two crossed the ancient Demon continent and approached the Flying Dragon continent. The Flying Dragon continent, as the strongest, most central and largest continent in the Divine Realm, was the most prosperous place in the Divine Realm. Therefore, the closer one was to the Flying Dragon continent, the more prosperous it was. Lu Yiping no longer suppressed his cultivation. Reversing time and space, he crossed a world with each step. Taurus Longjiao was carried along by Lu Yiping's holy power, and he felt that the world around him was constantly changing. While Lu Yiping and Huang Xiaolong were on their way to the Flying Dragon continent, news of the 8 desolate sovereigns gathering came from the divine world. When the news spread, the countless main continents of the divine world were shaken. Although it was said to be a convention of myriad races, all the superpowers with rulers were invited by the 8 desolation overlord. Therefore, it was not just the myriad races that were invited. When the news spread, countless main continents in the realm of the gods were shaken. At the same time, the patriarchs of the various super sects led their experts and rushed to the Flying Dragon continent. For a moment, a storm was brewing. Lu Yiping, who was rushing to the Flying Dragon continent, also heard the news. Isn't the convention set for 4 years later? Taurus Longjiao muttered, what trick is Bahuang playing? Could it be that the Yinyang Borer race has changed their plans and asked him to hold the convention in advance? Hold the convention in advance? Lu Yiping did not mind. That's good too. To him, it did not matter whether the convention was held in advance or not. Just as Lu Yiping and the Dragon Horn Golden Bull rushed to the Flying Dragon continent, the heaven-stabilizing ruler in the Flying Dragon city also learned that the 8 desolation ruler was gathering the myriad races and holding a convention of the myriad races. The sky-stabilizing ruler's disciple, Feng Yujie, said to the sky-stabilizing ruler, Master, the 8 desolation sovereign is not playing any tricks, right? The sky-stabilizing ruler's face was calm as he said, I received news that he has the support of the Yinyang Borer race. He wants to use the convention to sit on the throne of the realm of the gods. Feng Yujie was shocked. The Yinyang Borer race. The sky-stabilizing ruler smiled indifferent. So what if he has the support of the Yinyang Borer race? Does he think he can sit on the throne of the realm of the gods? What a joke! Feng Yujie laughed. You're right. Master, you're a person of virtue and prestige. Not only are you a peak late-stage sovereign, but you're also one of the divine world's top 10 array masters. You're also the president of the Divine Worlds Array Master Association. Now that you have the support of the Lord of the Immortal World, only you are qualified to sit on the throne of the realm of the gods. The sky-stabilizing ruler stood up, and runes appeared all over his body. These runes flickered with the aura of the Grand Tao. This is a Grand Tao array. Feng Yujie exclaimed in surprise. Master, you've broken through again. The sky-stabilizing ruler smiled. That's right. In fact, I broke through 100 years ago when I was in seclusion. In the past 100 years, I've completely consolidated my Grand Tao Array realm. Feng Yujie quickly cupped his fists and bowed. Congratulations, Master, for breaking through. Then he smiled. With Master's Grand Tao Array realm, you're now the Divine World's #1 Array Master. When Master reveals his Grand Tao Array realm during the convention, it will definitely shake the Divine World. The Sky Stabilizing Ruler laughed heartily. Feng Yujie hesitated for a moment before asking, Master, should we release that Sky Stabilizing Ruler? Then he added, I heard that 100 years ago, the Heaven and Earth Saint appeared in the Brahma Moon continent. The Sky Stabilizing Ruler didn't seem to mind. It's just the Heaven and Earth Saint. That Lu Yiping is just a true saint who entered the true saint realm a few million years ago. What's there to be afraid of? Then he said, prepare well in the next few days. Come with me to welcome Lord Zhuling. Lord Zhuling. Feng Yujie exclaimed excitedly. Master, you're saying that the Golden Lightning Saint, Lord Zhuling, is coming to the Divine World? The Golden Lightning Saint, Zhuling, was one of the strongest subordinates of the Lord of the Celestial World. He was also a true saint. The Sky Stabilizing Ruler smiled. That's right, Lord Zhuling is coming to the Divine World. The Lord of the Celestial World has already learned that the convention is going to be held in 8 Desolation. That's why he sent Lord Zhuling here. Feng Yujie was shocked, then he laughed happily. With Lord Zhuling here, Master, you'll definitely be able to sweep through the 8 Desolaces and do in this convention and become the Lord of the Divine World. The Sky Stabilizing Ruler laughed. As the convention drew closer, the Flying Dragon continent was bustling with activity. Experts from all over swarmed over, and the sect masters of super sects that were rarely seen appeared one after another. News of the arrival of rulers spread across the Flying Dragon continent. The Yin Yang ruler is here. He's already at South Wind City. Not just the Yin Yang ruler, even the Great Luo ruler is here. What, the Great Luo ruler? The expressions of the various experts changed when they heard that the Great Luo Overlord had come. Even the rulers who had already arrived on the Flying Dragon continent were shocked and they heard that the Great Luo ruler was here. The Great Luo ruler was the oldest ruler in the Divine World. He was even older than the barbaric dragon ruler and was also a supreme ruler. The Great Luo ruler is here. How many years has it been since the Great Luo ruler appeared? He's actually here to participate in the convention. I heard that he was invited by the Great Luo ruler. Do you think it's possible that the Great Luo ruler has already become a true saint? The arrival of the Great Luo ruler shook the Flying Dragon continent. On this day, the wind was gentle and the sun was shining brightly. Somewhere in the sky above the Flying Dragon continent, 2 figures, one blue and one gold, appeared. Chapter 390. The 2 newcomers were none other than Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Taurus Longjiao looked at the bustling Flying Dragon continent and said, I didn't expect that old man Grand Luo to come as well. Lu Yiping's expression remained unchanged as he said, let's go to Bright Volcano. The location of the battle between Ruler Bewildering Heaven and Overlord Steadfast Heaven wasn't in Flying Dragon City, but Bright Volcano outside of Flying Dragon City. Thus, Ruler Bewildering Heaven was currently trapped in Bright Volcano. Soon, Bright Volcano came into view. When Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived, the area around Bright Volcano was filled with experts and disciples from various supersections. There were probably tens of thousands of people. Lord Steadfast Heaven's Blood Sea Chaos Demon Array is indeed worthy of its reputation. Even the fire of the radiant volcano has been completely suppressed. One of the patriarchs exclaimed. This Ruler Bewildering Heaven probably won't be able to leave this Blood Sea Chaos Demon Array for the rest of his life. However, a mid-stage ruler like him dares to challenge Lord Steadfast Heaven? He deserves it. This Blood Sea Chaos Demon Array is capable of messing with one's mind. Even late-stage rulers would find it difficult to resist it. When the inner demons appear, they will go crazy. Look, ruler bewildering heaven's aura is already unstable, and his face is filled with pain. It seems like his inner demons are about to act up. The experts and disciples gathered around Bright Volcano pointed at the Blood Sea Chaos Demon Array and whispered among themselves. Ruler bewildering heaven, who was sitting cross-legged inside the Blood Sea Chaos Demon Array, was like a monkey being watched. Some of them even sneered at his misfortune. The Blood Sea Chaos Demon Array actually has more than 1 million blood devils. Ruler Steadfast Heaven's array has probably reached the level of Grand Tao Array. An ancestor suddenly said. What? Grand Tao Array? Doesn't that mean Ruler Steadfast Heaven is the #1 array master in the divine world? Doesn't that mean no one can break the Blood Sea Chaos Demon Array? The crowd was in an uproar. Lu Yiping and Jian Wushuang pushed through the restless crowd and walked in. They saw the Mount Radiant Volcano's sea of blood churning and demons dancing wildly. In the middle of the sea of blood, a square-faced middle-aged man in sky-blue battle armor was sitting cross-legged. His eyes were closed and from time to time, he would show a pained expression. Obviously, he was using all his strength to resist the power of the blood demons in the Blood Sea Chaos Demon Array. Looking at the millions of blood fiends in the Blood Sea, Lu Yiping continued walking towards the Blood Sea Chaos Fiend Array. Because the Blood Sea Chaos Demon formation was so thick that even ordinary sovereigns couldn't get close to it. Everyone was watching from afar. When they saw Lu Yiping walk out of the crowd and walk towards the Blood Sea Chaos Demon formation, they were stunned. Many experts noticed Lu Yiping. What is this person trying to do? Don't tell me you want to test how strong the Blood Devil Chi in the Blood Sea Chaos Demon Array is? A White Sun Divine Sect expert laughed. Maybe he wants to go in and test the power of those blood devils. Another Terminus Divine Sect ancestor laughed. The two's mocking laughter caused many people in the crowd to laugh as well. Amidst the crowd's mocking laughter, Lu Yiping continued walking towards the Blood Sea Chaos Demon formation. Finally, he reached the edge of the Blood Sea Chaos Demon formation and walked straight into it. When the White Sun Divine Sect expert saw that Lu Yiping really wanted to enter the Blood Sea Chaos Demon formation, he sneered, "Is this kid an idiot? He's courting death." The Terminus Divine Sect ancestor also shook his head. However, just as Lu Yiping walked into the Blood Sea Chaos Demon formation, the roaring Blood Sea Chaos Demon formation actually retreated. It was retreating to both sides. Everyone was dumbfounded, including the White Sun Divine Sect and Terminus Divine Sect experts. Lu Yiping continued to walk forward, and the Blood Sea Chaos Demon formation continued to retreat towards them. With every step forward Lu Yiping took, the Blood Sea Chaos Demon formation retreated to both sides. Everyone was dumbfounded by this strange scene. What's going on? Does this person have a supreme divine artifact on him? A supreme divine artifact that repels both nefarious and devil aura? Someone exclaimed. A divine artifact that repels both nefarious and devil aura. There were indeed such divine artifacts in the divine world. Standing among the crowd was a peerless beauty. Her beautiful eyes were also looking at Lu Yiping with uncertainty. This woman came from the immortal world, the daughter of a supreme expert. She had followed the Golden Lightning Saint to the divine world, and her name was Meng Qiantong. "Miss, does this person really have such a divine artifact on him?" A woman beside Meng Qiantong couldn't help but ask. The Blood Sea Chaos Demon formation's power was shocking. A divine artifact that could repel the Blood Sea Chaos Demon formation's evil aura had most likely surpassed a supreme grade innate treasure. Meng Qiantong stared at Lu Yiping and didn't say anything. Her beautiful eyes were filled with doubt. This person didn't have any energy fluctuations, but he was able to repel the Blood Sea and Demon Chi of the Blood Sea Chaos Demon Grand Formation. Could it be that he really had a divine weapon that could repel the evil Chi and Demon Chi? Amidst the crowd's discussion, Lu Yiping walked step by step towards the depths of the Blood Sea. At this time, the million blood fiends in the Blood Sea Chaos Demon formation attacked Lu Yiping. Looking at the incoming blood fiends, Lu Yiping didn't move. A giant golden bell appeared above his head. On the bell's surface, the sun, moon, mountains, and rivers shone brightly. Chaos energy poured down like a waterfall. The golden bell spun, and the chaos energy formed a giant vortex. When the blood devils attacked, they were all blown away by the huge vortex formed by the golden bell. Everyone was shocked. This is the bell of chaos. The terminating divine sex ancestor exclaimed in shock. What, the bell of chaos? The crowd was in an uproar when they heard this. Even Meng Qiantong was shocked. The bell of chaos was a chaos treasure. And a supreme grade chaos treasure at that. He really does have the bell of chaos. The woman next to Meng Qiantong exclaimed. In her opinion, only someone with the bell of chaos could condense the shape of the bell of chaos with their own power. Otherwise, how could it be so easy to condense the shape of a supreme treasure of chaos like the bell of chaos? Everyone looked at the bell of chaos above Lu Yiping's head. Other than shock, their eyes were burning with desire. That was a supreme-grade chaos treasure. Taurus Longjiao sneered when he heard the crowd's exclamations. As Lu Yiping walked deeper into the blood sea, more and more blood fiends appeared. However, no matter how many blood fiends there were, they were all repelled by Lu Yiping. But there were too many blood fiends. After they were repelled, new blood fiends formed in the blood sea. Lu Yiping was soon surrounded by blood fiends from all directions. Looking at the endless number of blood fiends, Lu Yiping's body surged with light. The bell of chaos vibrated, and golden light burst out, scattering the blood fiends. With a single step, Lu Yiping arrived beside Ruler Mi Tian. Ruler Mi Tian's eyes were still closed, and a pained expression was plastered on his face. Lu Yiping placed a hand on his shoulder and brought Ruler Mi Tian out of the blood sea. They arrived above the blood sea chaos demon array. Then, the bell of chaos above his head flew up and expanded again, turning into a million zhang tall mountain. Light swirled around it as it slammed down on the blood sea chaos demon array. Chapter 391. When the bell of chaos slammed down on the blood sea chaos demon array, the blood-red light in the array soared into the sky. The blood sea roared and soared, as if it wanted to swallow the heavens and the earth. The shocking demonic chi roared, and the roaring sound caused intense pain in everyone's ears. The earth quaked as if it was about to collapse. The radiant volcano trembled. Demonic chi blotted out the sky and covered the earth. It could be seen even from 100,000 miles away. However, the bell of primal chaos instantly dispersed the blood-red light that shot into the sky. Then, with a loud bang, the sea of blood that roared for thousands of miles exploded. The blood sea exploded into countless blood fragments. The demonic chi that blotted out the sky also exploded, splashing out countless miles. The surrounding experts, who had been watching Ruler Mystic Heaven like a monkey, saw the sea of blood explode and the demonic energy splatter in all directions. Their faces were filled with fear as they fled. However, the blood sea and demonic chi that had been blasted apart were shockingly fast and powerful. Many experts from the various sects were hit by the blood sea and demonic chi before they could escape. Miserable screams rang out. The two from the White Sun's Divine Sect and Terminus Divine Sect were also blasted away by the blood sea and demonic chi. They crashed into a mountain peak in the distance, causing it to collapse. In the immortal world, Meng Qiantong and her maidservant relied on their divine weapons to escape. They barely dodged the impact of the blood sea and the splashing demon chi. After escaping, they were drenched in cold sweat. They were still in a state of shock. After the bell of chaos destroyed the blood sea and demonic chi, its power didn't diminish. It slammed into the eye of the blood sea chaos demon formation. With a loud boom, the earth quaked. Dust billowed and covered the sky. Destructive chaos energy swept across the land as if doomsday had arrived. Everyone retreated in shock. After a long time, when the dust finally dissipated, the power of chaos finally stopped. Everyone looked over and saw that the blood sea and the millions of heavenly demons were all gone. And at the center of the blood sea chaos demon formation, there was a huge bell-shaped abyss. Inside the abyss, earth chi rose and earth wind blew. Streaks of divine fire floated out from the ground, but they seemed a bit lonely. It's open fire. Previously, the radiant volcano's flames had been suppressed by the blood sea chaos demon formation and had disappeared. But now, the blood sea chaos demon formation had been completely destroyed. The flames once again floated out from the ground, but they were somewhat scattered. As for the bright volcano, it had already disappeared. Lu Yiping brought Hegemon Mystery Heaven with him as he tore through space and left. Taurus Longjiao followed closely behind. The three of them disappeared in the blink of an eye. Tell Ding Tian that I will personally wring his neck during the convention of a myriad races. Lu Yiping's voice came from the horizon and clearly entered the ears of all the powerhouses present. Everyone was shocked. What arrogant words! What a reckless fool! He only broke a blood sea chaos demon array that no one is operating, and he dares to say that he will wring the neck of the heaven stabilizing ruler in the convention of a myriad races. An expert from the Penta-Divine sect laughed indifferent. The power of the blood sea chaos demon array when no one was operating it was completely different from when someone was operating it. As one of the sovereigns and the president of the Divine World's Formation Master Guild, Lord Steadfast Heaven had many factions under his command, including the pentacentric divine sect. Could that person be the Cosmos Saint? Suddenly, someone exclaimed. The Cosmos Saint. The expert from the pentacentric divine sect choked. The words Heaven and Earth Saint seemed to have supreme magic, suppressing everyone present into silence. Meng Qiantong looked in the direction Lu Yiping had left and muttered to herself, the Cosmos Saint. The Cosmos Saint's reputation in the immortal world was just as great. The heaven-stabilizing ruler quickly learned that the blood sea chaos demon array had been broken. The celestial ruler was sitting in his residence with the golden lightning sage, Zhu Ling. He was listening to the golden lightning sage's holy words. When he heard that the blood sea chaos demon formation had been broken and that Lu Yiping was going to snap his neck, his expression darkened. The golden lightning sage, Zhu Ling, remained calm. Don't worry. With me here, Lu Yiping won't be able to harm a single hair on your head. Because he had come in secret, he hadn't alerted the various factions of the divine world. Thus, they were still unaware of the golden lightning sage's arrival. The heaven-stabilizing ruler stood up and bowed to Zhu Ling. Lord Zhu Ling, don't worry. If I can become the ruler of the divine world, I will definitely live up to the immortal master's expectations. The golden lightning sage nodded in satisfaction. Don't worry. With me here, the Yinba race is nothing to fear. As for Lu Yiping, he's just a little saint who has been cultivating for several million years. After Lu Yiping left with Lord Mysterious Heaven, he and Taurus Longjiao arrived at a certain valley. They casually set up a large formation around them and began to expel the blood devil chi from Lord Mysterious Heaven's body. Aside from the blood devil chi, Lord Mysterious Heaven had also been heavily injured by the heaven-stabilizing ruler. Thus, after expelling the blood devil chi from Lord Mysterious Heaven's body, Lu Yiping began to treat his injuries. Lord Mysterious Heaven's injuries weren't light. Not only were his heaven's will, domain of divinity, will, and sea of soul heavily injured. With his injuries, it would take him tens of thousands of years to recover. Even for Lu Yiping, it would take him several days to fully recover. Lu Yiping had an auspicious cloud above his head. Saint Chi surged around him and enveloped Lord Mysterious Heaven. At the same time, Lu Yiping summoned the Tree of Life. Life energy poured down and entered Lord Mysterious Heaven's body. As time passed, the pale and bloodless Lord Mysterious Heaven's face gradually regained its color. In the blink of an eye, several days passed. Lord Mysterious Heaven's aura had completely stabilized. Previously, his sea of soul was almost dried up and cracked like the earth. But now, his sea of soul was brimming with life energy and glowing with auspicious light. Lu Yiping not only healed his sea of soul, but also used his saint power to reconstruct it. In the future, even if Lord Mysterious Heaven met Lord Stabilizing Ruler again, Lord Stabilizing Ruler would have a hard time shaking his sea of soul. Lord Mysterious Heaven woke up. He opened his eyes and saw Lu Yiping in front of him. He knelt down emotionally and called out, "Master." Lu Yiping nodded with a smile and helped Lord Mysterious Heaven to his feet. Then, Lord Mysterious Heaven bowed to Taurus Longjiao. Taurus Longjiao patted him on the shoulder and laughed heartily. "Not bad. You're a big shot of the God realm now." Lord Mysterious Heaven scratched his head, embarrassed. "I'm not skilled enough. I've embarrassed Master and Lord Shaojin." Taurus Longjiao shook his head. "Ding Tian has been a supreme ruler for many years. It's normal that you're not his match." Then, his eyes turned cold. "Ding Tian knows that you're Master's disciple, but he still dares to treat you like this. He really thinks that Master won't dare to touch him just because he has the Lord of the Celestial Realm behind him." Lu Yiping's eyes were also cold. "Tomorrow is the convention of the myriad races. Master will seek justice for you." Then, the master and disciple had a long talk. The night was long, but it eventually passed. The sun rose, illuminating the valley with golden light. Lu Yiping and the other two soared into the air and headed toward Flying Dragon City. Chapter 392. When Lu Yiping's group of 3 arrived at Flying Dragon City, the place was bustling with activity. Flying ships from various super sects were parked all around the city. This was the first time the convention of myriad races had been held in the divine world since the fall of the barbaric dragon ruler. The convention of myriad races was held once again after several million years. The Yin-Yang ruler has arrived. The 7th leaf ruler has arrived. The starry sky ruler has arrived. News of the arrival of sovereigns could be heard in the sky above Flying Dragon City. The experts who came to participate in the convention of myriad races were shocked and they heard the names of the sovereigns. Some of these sovereigns had made their names tens of millions of years ago, while others hadn't appeared in the world for 1 or 2 millennia. Yet, they were here to participate in the convention of myriad races. For example, the Starry Sky ruler and the Barbaric Dragon ruler couldn't even invite them when they ruled the divine world. Many sovereigns who hadn't appeared in the world for 1 or 2 millennia suddenly appeared in the world. Many sects patriarchs, and ancestors sensed that something was amiss. The Great Overlord Du Yi and Great Overlord have arrived. Suddenly, a voice rang out. The bustling convention of a myriad races instantly quieted down. The Great Overlord Du Yi and Great Overlord had arrived together. The Great Overlord Du Yi, like the 8 Desolation ruler, used to be the barbaric dragon ruler's right-hand man. Now, he had an army of trillions and divided the divine world with the 8 Desolation ruler, ruling over countless continents. Not long after the Great Overlord Du Yi and Great Overlord Du Yi arrived, the same voice rang out again. This time, it was trembling. The immortal world's golden lightning sage, Lord Zhu Ling, and the sky ruler have arrived. The sovereigns who had already arrived in the convention of myriad races rose to their feet in shock. What? The immortal world's golden lightning sage, Lord Zhu Ling. Moreover, he had come with the sky ruler. Even the 8 Desolation ruler, Great Overlord Du Yi, and Great Overlord Du Yi rose to their feet in shock. However, the 8 Desolation ruler and Great Overlord Du Yi's expressions darkened. The Sky ruler and the Golden Lightning Sage's arrival undoubtedly meant that they had the support of the immortal world. This cast a shadow over their hearts. The 8 Desolation ruler sucked in a deep breath. The sovereigns. After he finished speaking, he left the palace side by side with Hegemon Du Yi and Hegemon Big Luo. The other hegemons followed closely behind them. Just as they exited the main hall, they saw a figure walking through the air from the north gate of Flying Dragon City. Auspicious light bloomed, and heavenly dragons coiled around him. It was the Golden Lightning Saint, Zhu Ling. Behind Zhu Ling were the heaven-dominating ruler and close to 100 experts. These experts were all rulers. When the 8 desolates hegemon and the traveling hegemon saw the nearly 100 hegemons behind the fixed hegemon, their hearts sank. Suppressing the shock in their hearts, the two of them quickly stepped forward to greet the Golden Lightning Saint, Zhu Ling. When they arrived before Zhu Ling, the two of them and the sovereigns of Grand Luo all bowed. The Golden Lightning Holy Zhu Ling looked at Ba Huang, Du Yi, Big Luo, and the others, and said with a smile, "I heard that the divine world is holding a convention of myriad races." Zhu Ling came uninvited. "You won't mind, right?" The 8 Desolation ruler hurriedly waved his hand. "It's the God Realm's honor to have Lady Zhu Ling here. We can't be happier." Zhu Ling smiled. "That's good." Then, under the invitation of the many rulers, he arrived at the site of the convention of 1,000 races, entered the main hall, and sat on the main seat. Only after Zhu Ling sat down did the others dare to sit down. Due to Zhu Ling's arrival, everyone spoke cautiously. For a time, the atmosphere in the main hall was somewhat tense. A while later, it was time for the convention to begin. One of the 8 Desolation ruler's subordinates came up behind Ba Huang and said carefully, "My lord, it's time for the convention to begin, but Lord Tianyu hasn't arrived yet." The Tianyu he spoke of was ruler Tianyu. Like the 8 Desolation ruler, Du Yi, and Ding Tianyu, he was one of the barbarian dragon ruler's right-hand men. Together with the 8 Desolation ruler and the others, he occupied the countless continents in the north of the divine world. The 8 Desolation ruler frowned. Since Tianyu hasn't come, there's no need to wait for him. The convention will begin as scheduled. His subordinate respectfully acknowledged. The 8 Desolation ruler stood up and bowed to Zhu Ling with cupped fists. "Lady Zhu Ling, it's time for the convention to begin. Let's have Lady Zhu Ling start this convention." Zhu Ling waved his hand and smiled. "This convention is your divine world's convention. It's not appropriate for me, someone from the immortal world, to start it. It's better for you all to do it." Then, he added, "I think Ding Tian should be the one to host this convention of myriad races." The 8 Desolation ruler's smile froze, then turned ugly. At the same time, anger welled up in his heart. He was the one who gathered the myriad races to hold the convention, but now Zhu Ling was asking Ding Tian to start the myriad cluster convention. Everyone turned to look at Ding Tianyu. Ding Tian stood up and bowed with a face full of smiles. Ding Tian obeys Lady Zhu Ling's order. Zhu Ling nodded with a smile. His gaze swept across the 8 Desolation ruler, Du Yi, and the Luo ruler. Millions of years ago, the barbarian dragon ruler fell, leaving the divine world without a ruler. The immortal master is concerned about the divine world and wishes for the divine world to choose a new ruler. I think Ding Tianyu is suitable. What do you all think? Zhu Ling's words silenced the hall. No one dared to say anything. The 8 Desolation ruler squeezed out a smile and said, "Lady Zhu Ling, the divine world has been without a ruler for many years. It is indeed time for a new ruler. However, I think that the new ruler should not only have integrity and talent, but his strength must also be recognized by everyone." Zhu Ling smiled at his words. "You mean to say that we should hold a competition, and the strongest person will be the ruler of the divine world? That's how it should be." The 8 Desolation ruler smiled, and a battle stage appeared in his hand. When the battle stage appeared, chaos chi filled the air, lightning flashed, and earth, wind, water, and fire roiled. A supreme grade innate artifact, the endless battle stage. The starry sky ruler exclaimed. "That's right, this is the endless battle stage of the ancient heavenly court." The 8 Desolation ruler smiled. Once the endless grand formation is activated, this battle stage can withstand the power of a sovereign. Even sovereigns will be fine if they fight inside. He then tossed the battle stage into the air. The endless battle stage floated above the flying dragon city. It expanded to 100,000 li in radius, and the might of a supreme-grade innate artifact spread out. Lightning, wind, and all kinds of other energies swept through heaven and earth. Zhu Ling looked at the heaven-stabilizing ruler, Dewy ruler, and origin immortal ruler, and asked, "What do you all think?" The heaven-stabilizing ruler smiled and said, "The 8 desolation ruler is right. To become the ruler of the divine world, one must be recognized by everyone. I agree with the 8 desolation ruler's suggestion." Dewy ruler, origin immortal ruler, starry sky ruler, and yin yang ruler nodded. Zhu Ling smiled and said, "In that case, I will be a fair judge for all of you. You can use all kinds of methods in the competition, and only the winner and loser will matter. Who will compete first?" The heaven-stabilizing ruler soared into the air and landed on the endless battle stage. He stood proudly and said, "I'll go first." Light surged from his body as he released his sovereign aura, enveloping heaven and earth. At the same time, the aura of the great Tao around him condensed into array talismans. Seeing the array talismans formed from the heaven-stabilizing ruler's aura, whether it was the 8 desolation ruler, Du-Yi, or origin immortal ruler, their expressions changed. Great Tao Array. Chapter 393. The expressions of the starry sky ruler, the yin-yang ruler, the 7-leaf ruler, and the hundreds of other rulers present also changed. In the past, the barbarian dragon sovereign had ruled over the divine world and was hailed as the divine world's #1 formation master. However, even the barbarian dragon sovereign's formations had not reached the level of Grand Tao formations. Now that the Heavenlock sovereign's formation had reached the level of a Great Tao formation, didn't that mean he was even stronger than the barbarian dragon sovereign? Right at this moment, the fixed heaven god's body suddenly glowed with a strange light. Everyone's expression changed again when they saw the strange light that suddenly appeared on the heaven-stabilizing ruler's body. Holy light. Immediately afterward, streaks of colorful gas flew out of the fixed heaven ruler's body and circled around him. Holy Chi. The 8 desolation sovereign, Du-Yi sovereign, starry sky sovereign, and the other sovereigns exclaimed in shock when they saw the colorful gas. Holy light, holy Chi. Only by entering the saint realm could one have holy light and holy Chi. Now, the heaven-stabilizing ruler was radiating with holy light and holy Chi. Didn't that mean that the heaven-stabilizing ruler was a saint? The 8 desolation ruler's expression was as gloomy as still water. He hadn't expected the sky ruler to have not only reached the Great Tao formation realm, but also the saint realm. If the heaven-stabilizing ruler had merely stepped into the Grand Tao formation realm, then there was still hope for him to suppress the heaven-stabilizing ruler with the Yinba race's regenerative ability and the chaos spiritual treasure bestowed upon him by the Yinba race. However, if the heaven-stabilizing ruler had stepped into the saint realm, then there was no hope for him at all. His eyes flashed. Lord Steadfast's ability to become a saint definitely had something to do with the master of the immortal world. However, he didn't think that the master of the celestial world would be willing to invest so much in nurturing the sky dominator in order to push him onto the throne of the god world. Even with the strength of the immortal world's heavenly court, they had to pay a great price to cultivate a saint realm master. The 8 desolation ruler glanced at Zhu Ling. No wonder she was so confident. She'd already predicted Lord Firmament would win. Landing on the no-beginning battle stage, the fixed heaven ruler's gaze swept across 8 desolation, Grand Luo, Du-Yi, and the others. A confident smile appeared on his face as he said, "Not bad, not only have my array formation skills reached the level of Grand Tao array, my cultivation has also entered the saint realm. Everyone, who wants to come up and fight me first?" The sovereigns of 8 desolation, Grand Luo, Du-Yi, Starry Sky, and Yin Yang remained silent. 8 desolation wanted to take a step forward when he saw the heaven-stabilizing ruler on the supreme battle platform, but he stopped himself. After a long while, there was still no movement. Noticing that the 8 desolation, Grand Luo, Du Yi, and the other sovereign realm's sovereigns had yet to make a move. Sky stabilizing sovereign chuckled and asked, "Is no one going to accept the challenge?" The golden lightning sage Zhu Ling spoke, "If no one comes forward to accept the challenge, then it will be deemed that everyone has given up on the challenge. Ding Tian will be the next ruler of the divine world. Let me." The 8 Desolation ruler couldn't help but step forward. He rose from the ground and landed on the supreme battle platform. The Sky Dominator wasn't surprised to see the 8 Desolation ruler accept the challenge. "Brother 8 Desolation, please." The 8 Desolation ruler harumphed coldly and released his chi. Instantly, the ground shook, thunder rumbled, lightning flashed, and a hurricane raged. Sensing the 8 Desolation sovereign's aura, the Starry Sky ruler said solemnly, "Peak Peerless Sovereign." Peak sovereigns were invincible below the Saint Realm. He was only half a step away from the Saint Realm. A halberd appeared in the Octaterra ruler's hand. The halberd was 4 meters long, and it was dark gold in color, flashing with a cold black light. When the 8 Desolation ruler poured his power into the halberd, it buzzed and emitted a dark gold light. Waves of energy swept out. A golden qilin appeared on the halberd, roaring and shaking the flying dragon city. Chaos treasure, golden qilin halberd. The Sky Dominator looked at the halberd with burning eyes. The 8 Desolation ruler charged forward, arriving in front of the Sky Dominator and thrusting his halberd forward. Golden halberd shadows filled the sky and enveloped the Sky Dominator. Each of these halberd shadows was powerful enough to injure an ordinary late-stage sovereign. Looking at the sky full of halberd shadows, Lord Dingtian's expression was normal. He raised his hand, and his palm glowed with auspicious light. Saint power gushed out, and wherever the saint power passed, the halberd shadows were instantly destroyed. The 8 Desolation ruler's expression changed. He hurriedly flew into the air and tried to dodge, but he was a step too late. The Sky Dominator's holy power slammed into him. The 8 Desolation ruler crashed into the supreme battle platform's barrier like a broken kite. With a loud boom, the supreme battle platform shook violently. Even though they were far away, the loud noise still caused everyone's ears to hurt. The 8 Desolation ruler fell to the ground, vomiting blood. Seeing the 8 Desolation sovereign sent flying with a single blow, and unable to even take a single blow from the sky stabilizing overlord, everyone's hearts sank. Du Yi, Big Luo, and the others were solemn. The strength of a saint was far beyond their imagination. The 8 Desolation ruler was a peak sovereign, only half a step away from becoming a saint. Even with the Chaos Treasure Golden qilin halberd, he couldn't withstand a single blow from a saint. After sending the 8 Desolation ruler flying with a single blow, the Sky Dominator stood with his hands behind his back and smiled. "Who else wants to fight me? It's me." Right at this moment, a cold voice resounded. Everyone was stunned. They looked over and saw 3 figures approaching from the horizon. 1 blue, 1 golden, and 1 yellow. Ruler Enigma. The Sky Dominator's eyes narrowed when he saw Ruler Enigma. Then, his gaze landed on Lu Yiping. "Saint of Heaven and Earth." Big Luo blurted out when he saw Lu Yiping. "Saint of Heaven and Earth. It's the Saint of Heaven and Earth." The crowd was in an uproar. The sovereigns in the starry sky were alarmed. The golden lightning Saint Zhu Ling's eyes narrowed as he stood up. In the Flying Dragon City, all the experts from the various great sects and clans of the various continents looked at the blue-robed figure who was walking in the air. Lu Yiping didn't move quickly, but he arrived in the sky above Flying Dragon City in the blink of an eye. When Lu Yiping saw the arrogant Heaven Dominator standing on the battle stage with his hands clasped behind his back, he pointed a finger at the Heaven Dominator. A ray of light pierced through the void, piercing through the walls of the battle stage and shooting towards the Heaven Dominator. The Sky Dominator was shocked. He roared and slapped out with both palms. Auspicious light reappeared, and his holy power roared as he met Lu Yiping's finger attack. However, Lu Yiping's finger attack pierced through his roaring holy power and continued towards the Sky Dominator. Sensing the destructive power of Lu Yiping's finger attack, the Sky Dominator panicked. He retreated again and again while shouting, "Lord Zhu Ling, please save me." The Golden Lightning Saint Zhu Ling took a step forward and arrived in front of the supreme battle platform, blocking the Sky Dominator's path. He punched out with a punch that could destroy eternity, causing the sun and moon to fall. A deafening explosion shook the heavens. Heaven and earth flickered. The boundary wall of the endless battle stage exploded and the endless battle stage dimmed. This attack seemed to strike the depths of everyone's soul. Everyone felt their soul sea tremble. Chapter 394. As the no-beginning battle stage's array exploded, the destructive shockwaves swept out in all directions. The surrounding buildings were reduced to nothingness, not even a speck of dust was left behind. Cracks started to appear on the ground like a piece of bread being torn apart by an invisible force. Du-E Sovereign, Starry Sky Sovereign, and the other sovereigns were shocked and fled in panic. Even the 8 Desolation Sovereign, who was sent flying by the Fixed Sky Sovereign, also fled in fear. However, both of them were struck by the shockwaves at the same time and were sent flying back. The 8 Desolation Sovereign crashed into the ground in the distance, turning the surrounding buildings into dust. He coughed out mouthfuls of blood and felt as if all the divine veins in his body were about to rupture. Was this the power of a sage? Even the Fixed Sky Sovereign, who was already a sage, was smashed to the ground. His blood and energy were in turmoil, and blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. He couldn't hide the shock in his eyes. He was already a sage and felt that he wasn't far from the sage realm. Even if he couldn't fight back, he could still escape. But now, he couldn't even withstand the shockwaves. More importantly, Lu Yiping didn't use any sage energy, it was just an ordinary finger force. Zhu Ling blocked the shockwaves with an invisible force and stood firm like a divine mountain. He stood on the no-beginning battle stage and looked at Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping, with me here, you won't be able to touch a single hair of the Fixed Sky Sovereign. You've only been here for a few million years, you're no match for me. I advise you to leave. The Fixed Sky Sovereign is the new master of the divine world nurtured by the immortal master. I've been here for a few million years and I'm no match for you. Lu Yiping snickered. He didn't seem to move, but he was already in front of Zhu Ling. He punched out, and instantly, billions of heavenly dragons flew out. The heavenly lightning turned into a sea of lightning. The sun and the moon dimmed, and the land seemed to have fallen into an endless abyss. With one punch, the world fell into eternal darkness. Everyone was shocked. What kind of vast power was this? Zhu Ling's expression changed. He roared and punched out with both fists. When his fists punched out, golden lightning filled the sky, as if it came from the beginning of heaven and earth, as if it came from the origin of the lightning world. Within the golden lightning, sage energy pierced through the heavens. Rumble. Zhu Ling's fists collided with Lu Yiping's. Heaven and earth trembled. Du-Yi, Grand Luo, Starry Sky, and the Yin-Yang sovereigns felt as if their souls and hearts were being crushed. Du-Yi, Grand Luo, and the Starry Sky sovereigns coughed up mouthfuls of blood. Even Heaven Ruler, who was a Saint Realm Master, was no exception. Everyone ignored their injuries and fled in panic. They only wanted to escape from the Flying Dragon City, and the further the better. Zhu Ling also felt her body tremble, and she was pushed back by the terrifying force all the way to the edge of the stage. Zhu Ling only felt the blood vitality in her chest churn and her throat heat up. Opening her mouth, she spat out a mouthful of golden blood that glowed with auspicious light. This was the blood of a saint. This mouthful of blood resembled a golden mountain as it slammed into the endless arena, causing it to tremble. The crowd was shocked to see the golden lightning saint, Zhu Ling, being sent flying by Lu Yiping's single punch. She even spat out a mouthful of blood. The golden lightning saint Zhu Ling was an ancient saint in the immortal world. He had been a saint for tens of millions of years, and he was a powerful saint from the ancient era 50 million years ago. Yet, he couldn't withstand a single punch from Lu Yiping. However, Lu Yiping had only been a saint for several million years. How are you so strong? Zhu Ling couldn't believe it. He couldn't accept that he had lost to Lu Yiping. Zhu Ling had been a saint since the ancient era, and he hadn't slacked off in the past 50 million years. With the help of the Heavenly Court's resources, he had swallowed top-grade chaos spiritual pills to cultivate every day. Every 10,000 years, his holy energy would increase by a fraction. But now, he couldn't even defeat Lu Yiping, who had been a saint for several million years. How am I so strong? Lu Yiping was indifferent, because you're too weak. I'm too weak. Zhu Ling's face turned purple hearing Huang Xiaolong's words, and he felt like vomiting. Lu Yiping calmly walked towards Zhu Ling. In fact, he wasn't wrong. Zhu Ling was too weak. Even though Zhu Ling had been a saint since the ancient era, and had been a saint for 50 million years, he had only been a minor saint. There were 3,000 Grand Daos in the universe, and other than the 3,000 Grand Daos, there were 100,000 minor Daos. Some saints had proven their Grand Daos, while others had proven their minor Daos. Zhu Ling had proven his minor Daos, while Huang Xiaolong had proven his Grand Daos. Moreover, he had comprehended the most important 1,000 Grand Daos in the Fortune Jade Disc. I don't believe that I can't defeat a minor saint who has proven his Tao for several million years. Zhu Ling snorted coldly. Holy Qi surged from his body, and an auspicious cloud appeared above his head. The auspicious cloud above his head was the same as Lu Yiping's. It was pure and flawless white. As he summoned his auspicious cloud, Zhu Ling's holy Qi surged wildly. His Tao Qi turned into Tao dragons, and the auspicious light soared into the sky. The entire flying dragon continent saw this auspicious light. Zhu Ling's fists once again pushed towards Lu Yiping. The Tao dragons and auspicious cloud's holy Qi merged with his fists. As his fists pushed towards Lu Yiping, they surged endlessly, as if they were going to flatten 10,000 worlds. In the blink of an eye, his fists reached Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping's expression remained calm as he looked at his opponent's surging fist energy. He summoned the auspicious cloud above his head. Lu Yiping's auspicious cloud blossomed with auspicious light, completely overshadowing Zhu Ling's auspicious cloud. Lu Yiping's auspicious cloud was also white, but it was 10 times bigger than Zhu Ling's. Zhu Ling's auspicious cloud was 1 mu in size, but Lu Yiping's auspicious cloud was 10 mu in size. Zhu Ling was shocked when he saw Lu Yiping's auspicious cloud. He found it hard to believe that the auspicious cloud was formed by the accumulation of holy qi. If Lu Yiping's auspicious cloud was so big, didn't that mean that Lu Yiping's holy qi was 10 times his? Lu Yiping had only attained his Tao for a few million years, but the amount of holy qi he could gather was so much higher than his. One had to know that it was extremely difficult to gather holy qi. Zhu Ling had been gathering holy qi for tens of millions of years, but his auspicious cloud was only 1 mu in size. Suddenly, Lu Yiping's Tao qi surged out, and a Tao of lightning flew out. This Tao of lightning contained all of the lightning element's minor Taos. It was the source of all lightning energy, and it was above the lightning world's origin. The Tao of lightning. You've comprehended the Tao of lightning. Zhu Ling exclaimed in shock. There were 3,000 Taos in the universe, and the Tao of lightning was ranked high among the 3,000 Taos, ranked 17th. He didn't expect Lu Yiping to have comprehended a Tao, and it was the 17th ranked Tao of lightning. Although he was known as the Saint of Golden Lightning, the Golden Lightning he comprehended was only a minor Tao of lightning. Its power was far from being comparable to Lu Yiping's Tao of lightning. Suddenly, Lu Yiping's Tao qi shone brightly, and another Tao of lightning flew out. Chapter 395. This Grand Tao was even more resplendent than the Grand Tao of lightning, and the aura it contained was even stronger. Just the aura alone was enough to make Zhu Ling's heart palpitate. This Grand Tao consisted of earth, metal, water, fire, and wood. Zhu Ling was barely able to maintain his composure when he saw the Grand Tao of lightning, but when he saw this Grand Tao, his expression changed drastically. 5 Elements Grand Tao. Among the 3,000 Grand Taos, there were 10 Supreme Grand Taos. The 5 Elements Grand Tao was one of the 10 Supreme Grand Taos, ranked 10th among the 3,000 Grand Taos. Impossible! Zhu Ling screamed. Even the Celestial Master failed to comprehend a Supreme Grand Tao. How did you do it? As the Saint of Metal and Lightning who had cultivated for 50 million years, he understood how difficult it was to comprehend a Supreme Grand Tao. Even the Celestial Master failed to comprehend a Supreme Grand Tao. Celestial Master. Lu Yiping sneered and punched out. The auspicious clouds shone brightly as boundless holy energy, lightning, and 5 Elements Grand Tao flew out along with Zhu Ling's fist. Lu Yiping's Grand Tao of lightning and 5 Elements Grand Tao collided with Zhu Ling's fist. In an earth-shattering explosion, the Grand Tao of lightning and 5 Elements Grand Tao shattered Zhu Ling's fist into nothingness. The Grand Tao of lightning and 5 Elements Grand Tao swallowed Zhu Ling whole. Zhu Ling paled when he saw the Grand Tao of lightning and 5 Elements Grand Tao swallowing him whole. A chaos spiritual artifact appeared in his hand. This chaos spiritual artifact was a lightning spear. The aura it exuded was much stronger than the 8 Desolation Sovereign's low-grade golden Qilin halberd. It was a mid-grade chaos spiritual artifact. Zhu Ling stabbed out with the lightning spear in his hand. In an instant, lightning energy surged out and blasted towards Lu Yiping's Grand Tao of lightning and 5 Elements Grand Tao. However, it was useless. Even with a mid-grade chaos spiritual artifact in his hand, no matter how hard he pushed the saint energy in his body, no matter how hard he pushed the lightning energy he had comprehended, he still couldn't stop Lu Yiping's lightning Grand Tao and 5 Elemental Grand Tao. With a loud explosion, Zhu Ling felt an unimaginable force slamming into him. He was sent flying from the edge of the endless battle stage and was completely blown out of the endless battle stage. The Zhu Ling was like a meteor that emitted lightning as it smashed into the end of the Flying Dragon City. The Flying Dragon City shook. Dong! When the Zhu Ling smashed into the end of the Flying Dragon City, it was as if the world was about to be destroyed. A mushroom-shaped wave of air exploded. Even though everyone was very far away, they still felt their minds buzzing and their ears losing their sense of hearing from the explosion. As the shockwaves exploded, the palaces of the various super clans in the city crumbled and turned into dust wherever the shockwaves passed by. The rumbling sounds were endless. Dui, Big Luo, and the other sovereigns in the starry sky were horrified when they saw the buildings and palaces in the Flying Dragon City being destroyed, leveled, and razed to the ground. The steadying ruler stared at the golden lightning sage, Zhu Ling, who had been sent flying. Apart from shock, he couldn't help but feel terrified. Lu Yiping sent Zhu Ling flying with a single punch before walking toward the heaven-stabilizing ruler. The sky-stabilizing ruler's face was pale as he said in a trembling voice, "Lord Lu Yiping, I am the new master of the divine realm chosen by the divine master." However, just as he finished speaking, Lu Yiping reached out and grabbed his neck. Lu Yiping lifted him up with one hand and said indifferently, "The master of the divine world chosen by the divine master? Who the hell does the divine master think he is? You injured my disciple, damaged his soul sea, and laid down the blood sea chaos demon formation, causing his inner demons to act up and turning him into a demonic creature. Do you really think I won't dare to kill you just because you have that idiot Hao Tian behind you?" Hao Tian was the name of the master of the divine world. Lu Yiping's cold voice resounded through the Flying Dragon City. His hand tightened, and the sky-stabilizing ruler felt his throat being crushed. To his horror, he realized that all his strength had been sucked away, and he couldn't even struggle. Suddenly, a loud boom came from the end of the Flying Dragon City. The golden lightning sage, Zhu Ling, who had just been smashed into the ground, flew out from the sand and rocks. Zhu Ling's hair was disheveled, and his entire body seemed to be charred. The smell of charred flesh was the result of the 5 elements fire energy. His armor was in tatters, and his expression was one of shock, anger, and humiliation. Sensing Lu Yiping's murderous intent, Zhu Ling said, "Lu Yiping, if you dare to kill the sky-stabilizing ruler, you'll become the enemy of the entire divine world. Think carefully about the consequences. Is it worth it to become the enemy of the entire divine world just to avenge your disciple?" Lu Yiping squeezed his hand, crushing the sky-stabilizing ruler's throat inch by inch. The power of the great Tao of lightning surged out of his hand and blasted into the other's body, wildly destroying his vitality and saint veins. In the end, the sky-stabilizing ruler's saint veins were completely destroyed. His vitality vanished, and his aura gradually dissipated. Zhu Ling's expression changed. Lu Yiping looked at Zhu Ling. "It's worth it to become the enemy of the entire divine world just to avenge my disciple." His voice reverberated through the flying dragon city. Du Yi, Grand Luo, and the other rulers of the starry sky were all shaken. It was worth it to become the enemy of the entire divine world just to avenge my disciple. What kind of shocking words were these? Who in the myriad of worlds would dare to become the enemy of the entire divine world? Lu Yiping dared. He, the cosmic saint, dared. Bewildering ruler clenched his fists tightly. Lu Yiping called upon the power of the 5 elements to envelop the sky-stabilizing ruler, incinerating him in the blink of an eye. A saint realm master had fallen. Du Yi, Grand Luo, and the others were even more shocked than when they'd seen the barbarian dragon ruler fall. Zhu Ling's expression was extremely ugly when he saw Lu Yiping incinerate the sky-stabilizing ruler. He'd once told the sky-stabilizing ruler that as long as he was around, Lu Yiping wouldn't be able to touch a single hair on his head. But now, Lu Yiping had annihilated the sky-stabilizing ruler. Lu Yiping didn't look at Zhu Ling. Instead, he turned to look at the Octaterra ruler. The Octaterra ruler had just been defeated by the sky-stabilizing ruler on the platform of no beginning. Now that Lu Yiping had wiped out the sky-stabilizing ruler, he was inwardly delighted. However, when he saw Lu Yiping looking at him with an unfriendly gaze, the Octaterra ruler paled. "You're the Octaterra ruler?" Lu Yiping asked. The Octaterra ruler's heart trembled. This junior is indeed Octaterra. Lu Yiping pulled the Octaterra ruler in front of him with a wave of his hand. The Octaterra ruler felt like his soul was about to leave his body when he saw Lu Yiping standing right in front of him. Trembling, he asked, "Lord Lu, may I ask how I've offended you?" "The Een Borer tribe," Lu Yiping said coldly. Hearing this, the Octaterra ruler's face turned ashen. Just as Lu Yiping was about to extract the Octaterra ruler's memory fragments to search for information regarding the Een Borer tribe, a giant beast claw reached out from the void, aiming for Lu Yiping's back. This beast claw had 5 razor-sharp claws, and its attack speed was too fast for anyone to react to. Moreover, the power it contained far surpassed Zhu Ling's previous attack. Even Zhu Ling couldn't react in time. By the time Zhu Ling reacted, the beast claw had already pierced Lu Yiping's back. Chapter 396. Du Yi, Great Luo, and the other sovereigns were shocked and they saw the beast claw piercing into Lu Yiping's back. Taurus Longjiao and Mei's Tian's expressions changed drastically. "Master! Master!" Immediately after, a 2-headed beast with a giant tail and millions of wraiths wrapped around its body walked out from the void. The beast's ferocious aura stunned Du Yi and the others. Just as the beast appeared, Lu Yiping's cold voice sounded, "Dark Hell Ghost Beast." It was a true saint-staged Dark Hell Ghost Beast. Everyone looked over and saw Lu Yiping walking out from another part of the void. As it turned out, the ghost beast was just an illusion left behind by Lu Yiping. The Dark Hell Ghost Beast did not expect it to attack Lu Yiping's illusion. Lu Yiping looked in another direction and said, "Little turtle of the Yin-Yang Borer race, come out." Everyone was shocked and looked in the direction Lu Yiping was looking. It was empty. Zhu Ling was also confused as she could not sense any Yin-Yang Borer race experts. At this time, specks of light appeared in the surroundings. These specks of light gathered and formed a 2-meter-tall middle-aged man. Zhu Ling's heart trembled when she saw the middle-aged man. Heaven and Earth Incarnation. To use Heaven and Earth Incarnation, one needed to comprehend the Transformation Grand Tao. The Transformation Grand Tao was ranked higher than the Lightning Grand Tao in the 3000 Grand Tao. The middle-aged man was one of the Yin-Yang Borer race's progenitors, called Yin Yu. Yin Yu looked at Lu Yiping and said calmly, "Your divine sense is not bad. You can sense my presence." He then said, "Lu Yiping, going against the Yin-Yang Borer race will not end well. With your cultivation realm and strength, if you submit to the Yin-Yang Borer race, we will unify 10,000 worlds and let you rule 1,000 worlds." Zhu Ling's expression sank and she snorted coldly when she heard the Yin Yu of the Yin Borer race talk about unifying the 10,000 worlds. Lu Yiping looked at the Yin Valley and the dark hell ghost beast and said solemnly, "If I don't die in this life, I will definitely destroy the Yin moths." Yin Yu shook his head, "That's a pity." He then turned to Zhu Ling, "How about the three of us join forces and kill that Lu guy?" Zhu Ling's eyes flickered before she finally nodded. "All right." Yin Valley smiled, "Good, you will soon find out how wise your decision today is." Saying this, a cloud appeared above his head. His auspicious cloud was the same as Lu Yiping's and Zhu Ling's. It was also a pure and flawless white. However, Zhu Ling's auspicious cloud was only 1 mu, and Lu Yiping's was only 10 mu. However, the auspicious cloud in Yin Valley was 14 mu. It was 14 times the size of Zhu Ling's and almost half the size of Lu Yiping's. Auspicious cloud Saint Chi surged like an endless sea, emitting a bright and auspicious light. When Zhu Ling saw the auspicious cloud in Yin Valley, she was shocked. For every mu of auspicious cloud, the saint power would increase by more than just a little. She didn't expect this Yinba clan elite's auspicious cloud to have cultivated to such a level. Even in the entire immortal world, there were not many who could surpass this person. Suddenly, great Tao Qi filled Yin Valley's body and a great Tao flew out. This great Tao shone with an uncertain light, sometimes gold, sometimes black, sometimes red, and sometimes rainbow. The great Tao of transformation. Zhu Ling's heart sank. This Yinba clan elite had indeed comprehended the 14th ranked great Tao of transformation. Immediately after the great Tao of transformation, another great Tao flew out from Yin Gu's body. This great Tao was even thicker than the great Tao of transformation. Its light was even brighter, and its aura was stronger. It was even stronger than the aura of Lu Yiping's previous great Tao of the 5 elements. This great Tao was filled with destruction. It was the source and root of destruction. Zhu Ling was shocked to see Yin Valley's great Tao. The great Tao of destruction. The great Tao of destruction was one of the 10 great Tao of destruction, ranked 8th. Du Yi, Big Luo, and the rulers of Starry Sky were equally shocked. Although they hadn't entered the Saint Realm, they had heard of the 3,000 great Taos and 100,000 minor Taos in the Saint Realm. 3,000 great Taos were far more powerful than 100,000 minor Taos. Among the 3,000 great Taos, the higher the ranking, the more powerful they were. In the immortal world, if a saint could comprehend one of the top 100 great Taos, it would be an incredible feat that would shock the entire immortal world. As for the top 10 supreme great paths, no one had been able to comprehend them since the Archean celestial court. Even the current lord of the immortal world had not been able to comprehend the supreme great path. Once a supreme saint of the great path appeared, it would shock the ages and startle all the realms. Now, 2 saints of the great Tao had appeared in succession. Zhu Ling and the others were still in shock when another great Tao flew out from Yin Valley's body. Although this great Tao wasn't a great Tao of destruction, it was still one of the top 100 great Taos. Infinite space. Infinite time. Infinite heaven and earth. Infinite power. This was the true meaning of the infinite Great Tao. After the infinite Great Tao, several more Great Taos flew out from Yin Valley. Yin Yang Great Tao, Life Great Tao, Infinity Great Tao, Truth Great Tao, Fire Great Tao, Water Great Tao, Matter Great Tao, Destruction Great Tao, Transformation Great Tao, and Infinite Great Tao. There were 10 Great Taos in total. All of them were in the top 100 Great Taos. The Yin Yang Great Tao, the Life Great Tao, and the Immeasurable Great Tao were all in the top 20. 10 Great Taos illuminated the heavens. The light of the Great Taos shot straight into the firmament. The firmament was blasted open, and the clouds within 1,000,000 miles were blasted away. Air billowed, and the powerhouses in every corner of the Flying Dragon continent saw the light of these 10 Great Taos. At this moment, all the powerhouses in the Flying Dragon continent raised their heads and looked at the light of the 10 Great Taos that illuminated the firmament in shock. Dui, Big Luo, and the sovereigns in the starry sky were all suppressed by the power of these 10 Great Taos. They all flew away in a panic, far away from the Flying Dragon city. 10 Great Taos, and all of them are in the top 100. There's even a Great Tao of Destruction. Zhu Ling looked at the 10 Great Taos around Yin Valley, and her heart was in turmoil. At this moment, the black hell demonic beast beside Yin Valley also had an auspicious cloud above its head. The cloud was 8 acres large, and 7 Great Taos flew out at the same time. These 7 Great Taos were all in the top 1,000. Yin Valley stood proudly, and his aura locked onto Lu Yiping. With his hands behind his back, he said, Lu Yiping, you have the 5 elements Great Tao of Destruction, but my Destruction Great Tao can completely suppress your 5 elements Great Tao. My Great Tao is stronger than yours, and my auspicious cloud saint energy is stronger than yours. You must die today. I gave you a chance just now, but unfortunately, you didn't cherish it. At this point, Yin Valley suddenly threw a punch at Lu Yiping. When the punch was thrown, the power of the 10 Great Taos roared, and the heavens and earth brightened. The Flying Dragon continent seemed to have entered daytime. The black hell demonic beast also attacked at the same time. Its body instantly expanded, and its mountain-like beast claws struck out. The power of the Great Tao filled the sky, and saint energy flooded the heavens and earth. Chapter 397. Zhu Ling hesitated for a moment before also circulating her Tao and holy force, punching at Lu Yiping with both fists. The 3 Tao-proving sages attacked at the same time. Heaven and earth changed color, and all living things trembled. The entire Flying Dragon city was like a straw hut that was about to be flung into the air. Even Bewildering Sky's expression changed drastically. The 3's attacks pierced through the void and arrived before Lu Yiping in the blink of an eye. Die! Yin Yu's eyes were cold. Although sages were said to be immortal and indestructible, that wasn't absolute. When the destructive power exceeded the limit of a Tao-proving sage, it could still kill them. When Pangu split the sky, he was stopped by 3,000 Khanate demon gods. Later on, Pangu used the heaven-splitting divine axe to slay more than half of them. Among the 3,000 Khanate demon gods, there were many sage realm cultivators. Lu Yiping watched as the 3's attacks pierced through the void and arrived before him. His expression remained unchanged, and the auspicious cloud above his head glowed with auspicious radiance. The Great Tao of the 5 elements and the Great Tao of thunder flew out. However, a 3rd Great Tao flew out. When this Great Tao flew out, terrifying cracks appeared in the surrounding space. These were cracks, not cracks. It was as if the entire Flying Dragon city couldn't withstand the power contained in this Tao. This Great Tao was so bright and powerful that it completely suppressed the power of the 5 elements Great Tao. It even suppressed the power of the Yin Valley's Great Tao of Destruction. When this Tao flew out, Dui, Grand Luo, Starry Sky, and the others seemed to see the reincarnation of all things. Reincarnation Tao. Zhu Ling exclaimed. The reincarnation Tao was ranked 7th among the supreme Taos. Yin Yu was also shocked. He couldn't believe it. He had always been proud of comprehending the destruction Tao, but Lu Yiping had comprehended 2 supreme Taos. While Yin Yu, Zhu Ling, and the others were still in shock, Tao after Tao flew out from Lu Yiping's body. Including the reincarnation Tao, 5 elemental Tao, and lightning Tao, there were a total of 20 Taos. Moreover, every single one of them was ranked in the top 50. 20 rays of light of the Great Path shot straight into the sky, piercing through it. The radiance of the 10 great Tao of Yin Valley, which had just illuminated the flying dragon continent, dimmed under the radiance of Lu Yiping's 20 great Tao. The radiance of Lu Yiping's 20 great Tao completely covered the radiance of the 10 great Tao of Yin Valley. Lu Yiping punched out. In an instant, the cycle of reincarnation appeared once again. The 5 elements intertwined with one another. Light shone brightly, darkness as deep as the abyss. Countless bolts of divine lightning raged, and 20 different grand Taos followed Huang Xiaolong's fist force to meet Yin Valley, Dark Hell Ghost Beast, and Zhu Ling's grand Taos. Rumble. A loud explosion shook the heavens. Heaven and earth flickered for a moment. It was as if the flying dragon continent had been hammered by a gigantic hammer. All the rankers in the flying dragon continent felt their entire bodies freeze. Those who were high up in the sky all fiercely smashed onto the ground, and those who were on the ground all knelt down. The flying dragon city was lifted up by the waves of air and completely dispersed. As for Du Yi, Deluo, Xing Xing, and the others who had escaped from the flying dragon city, they all spat out blood as if they had suffered a heavy blow. Yin Valley, the Dark Hell Ghost Beast, and Zhu Ling felt a terrifying force slamming into them, forcing them to retreat. The Yin Valley was still alright, it was only blasted several thousand miles away, but the Black Hell Ghost Beast was smashed out of the flying dragon city, smashing into the ground. As for the Zhu Ling, her divine armor had completely exploded, and terrifying cracks appeared on her sacred body, smashing to the end of the sky. The earth trembled incessantly. Rumbling noises resounded endlessly. When the Dark Hell Ghost Beast and Zhu Ling crashed into the ground, they stirred up a cloud of dust that swept across countless Li Du Yi, Deluo, and the others were dumbfounded. Not only did Huang Xiaolong block the 3 Holy Realm experts' attacks with one punch, but he also sent them flying. Lu Yiping's attack was so powerful. Even Yin Valley, who had 14 mu of auspicious clouds, was sent flying by Lu Yiping. Everyone was stunned speechless for a long time. Yin Valley stabilized himself, and he felt his blood boiling. Heat rose in his throat, and when he opened his mouth, he spat out a mouthful of blood. He looked at Lu Yiping in horror. The fusion of 2 supreme grand Taos was so powerful. Moreover, Lu Yiping had comprehended 20 grand Taos, and all of them were ranked in the top 50. Yin Valley found it hard to believe. He had reached Saint Realm earlier than Zhu Ling, and he had only comprehended 10 grand Taos. He was well aware of how difficult it was to comprehend grand Taos. He had reached Saint Realm 60 million years ago, but he had only comprehended 20 grand Taos. Just comprehending the destruction grand Taos alone took him 50 million years. However, Lu Yiping had only reached Saint Realm a few million years ago, and not only had he comprehended 2 supreme grand Taos, but he had also comprehended more than 20 grand Taos. You've only reached Saint Realm a few million years ago, but you've already comprehended 20 grand Taos. Yin Valley's face was gloomy. Taurus Longjiao sneered when he heard that. Lu Yiping had the creation jade disc's main disc. After reaching Saint Realm, he had already comprehended most of the 1,000 grand Taos in the main disc. He had also comprehended most of the 700 grand Taos in the 7 creation jade discs that he had obtained. So now, Lu Yiping had comprehended more than 20 grand Taos. Lu Yiping walked toward Yin Valley, glanced at the auspicious cloud above his head, and said, "You're just a facade." Auspicious cloud saint power was not the only factor that determined a person's combat strength. The most important factor was the 3,000 grand Daos. Valley's Saint power was indeed stronger than his, but his grand Daos were much stronger. When he heard Lu Yiping say that he was just a facade, Valley's face turned ugly. At this moment, Lu Yiping suddenly took a step forward and came in front of him. He threw a punch. Valley was shocked and raised his fist to block. However, the three of them could not block Lu Yiping's punch, let alone him now. Instantly, Valley was sent flying again. Valley opened his mouth and spat out another mouthful of blood. His eyes were filled with anger. Lu Yiping, so what if you have 2 grand Daos? You can't kill me. If I want to leave, I'll leave. You can't stop me. As he said that, his figure flashed and he flew away. Lu Yiping, the next time we meet, I'll definitely kill you. Just as Valley was about to leave, Lu Yiping's grand Daos suddenly shone brightly. Another grand Daos flew out. When this grand Daos flew out, the entire flying dragon continent's space was locked. Valley, who was flying away, was blocked by an invisible force and bounced back. Space-time grand Daos. Valley looked at Lu Yiping's grand Daos and was shocked. Space-time grand Daos were ranked 3rd among the 3,000 grand Daos. It could control the surrounding time and space. The stronger one was, the larger the space-time area they could control. With Lu Yiping's current sage power, it was easy for him to seal the entire flying dragon continent's space-time. When the Dark Hell Ghost Beast and Zhu Ling saw Lu Yiping's space-time grand Daos, their expressions were the same as Valley's. Space-time grand Daos, it's actually space-time grand Daos. Zhu Ling muttered to herself as if she had lost her soul. Even the immemorial Heavenly Emperor could not comprehend the space-time grand Daos, but Lu Yiping did it. Where did this Lu Yiping come from? Chapter 398. 3 Supreme Grand Daos. Dui, Grand Luo, and the other sovereigns who were hiding in the distance exclaimed in shock. Comprehending one type of supreme great Tao was already a matter that shocked the myriad worlds. But now, Lu Yiping had comprehended 3 types. On top of that, he had comprehended the 3rd-ranked Grand Tao of space and time. Lu Yiping looked at the shocked Yin. In a flicker, he appeared in front of Yin and punched again, sending Yin flying. Lu Yiping's punch landed squarely on Yin's chest. The Yin divine armor's chest was completely penetrated. Not only was the divine armor penetrated, but even Yin's saint physique was also penetrated. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air when they saw Yin's saint physique being penetrated. Yin was a saint who had cultivated 10 grand Daos and possessed the supreme grand Tao of destruction. His saint physique was nourished by grand Tao energy day and night, almost invincible. But now, it was penetrated by Lu Yiping's punch. How terrifying was Lu Yiping, who possessed 3 supreme grand Daos, with a single punch. The Dark Hell Ghost Beast roared and charged at Lu Yiping. Its mountain-like beast claws slammed down on Lu Yiping's head. However, just as it was about to hit Lu Yiping's head, Lu Yiping raised his hand and stopped it. It was as if Lu Yiping was holding up a chaotic divine mountain, holding the Dark Hell Ghost Beast back. No matter how hard the Dark Hell Ghost Beast tried to increase its strength, it couldn't shake Lu Yiping in the slightest. Lu Yiping's 3 supreme grand Daos burst forth, and with a twist of his hand, the Dark Hell Ghost Beast screamed in pain. Its claws were actually broken by Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping threw the Dark Hell Ghost Beast's claws to Taurus Longjiao, keep them for tonight's barbecue. Dui and the others didn't know what to say. The Dragon Horn Golden Bull took the Black Hell Ghost Beast's claw and grinned, okay, I'll get some good ingredients later. The Dark Hell Demonic Beast was furious. It opened its mouth and roared, attacking Taurus Longjiao. How dare you blaspheme my holy body? Die! However, before his attack could reach Taurus Longjiao, Lu Yiping sent him flying with a punch. Lu Yiping's punch landed squarely on his opponent's throat. The throat was the weakest part of the Black Hell Ghost Beast's defense. With a crack, the throat of the Black Hell Ghost Beast was shattered by Lu Yiping. An astonishing hole appeared in its throat, from which the blood of a saint gushed out like a golden spring. The Black Hell Ghost Beast was thrown into the air. It took a long time before it fell to the ground. It didn't get up again for a long time. Zhu Ling, whose divine armor had exploded and whose body was covered in cracks, felt a sharp pain in her throat when she saw this. Lu Yiping looked at Zhu Ling. Zhu Ling's expression changed drastically. Lord Lu Yiping. However, she didn't know what to say. She had changed the way she addressed Lu Yiping. She no longer had the confidence and calmness that she had at the beginning of the convention of 1,000 races. Lu Yiping walked over slowly. What do you want to say? Zhu Ling stuttered. Please let me go. Her voice was so weak that it couldn't be heard. Lu Yiping took a step forward and arrived in front of Zhu Ling. He also punched Zhu Ling's throat. Zhu Ling felt an intense pain from her throat to the depths of her soul. It wasn't real pain just now, but it was real pain this time. The hole in Zhu Ling's throat seemed to be bigger than the Black Hell Ghost Beast's. Zhu Ling crashed next to the Black Hell Ghost Beast, causing sand and dust to fly all over the Black Hell Ghost Beast's face. What did you just say? Say it again, Lu Yiping said to Zhu Ling. Zhu Ling wanted to speak, but found that she couldn't even open her mouth. She was shocked, angry, and regretful. If she had known that this would be the result of her trip to the divine world, she wouldn't have asked to come. She looked at Lu Yiping walking over and couldn't help but despair. Lu Yiping arrived in front of Zhu Ling, and a small mountain appeared in his hand. The small mountain expanded, becoming a mountain that was more than 10,000 meters tall. The mountain exuded a heaven-opening aura, and there was a gourd vine at the top of the mountain that glowed with rainbow light. Zhu Ling, the black hellish demonic beast, and Yin Gu all opened their eyes in astonishment. Mount Buzhou. You restored Mount Buzhou's vitality. Zhu Ling was in disbelief. The heavenly court of the immortal world also had Mount Buzhou's stone, but their immortal master had used all kinds of methods to restore Mount Buzhou's vitality. Lu Yiping didn't say anything. He tossed Mount Buzhou into the air and let it fall freely, smashing into Zhu Ling and the Black Hell Ghost Beast. Zhu Ling and the Black Hell Ghost Beast felt the sky darken, and a loud boom rang in their ears. They felt as if they were falling, as if they were smashed into the ground. After one hit, Mount Buzhou fell back into Lu Yiping's hand. Lu Yiping looked at the dying Zhu Ling and the Black Hell Ghost Beast. He picked them up like they were corpses, sealed their saint energy, and threw them into the cauldron of heaven and earth. Then, he walked towards Yin Gu. Yin Yu used all his strength and flew up crazily. A sacred artifact appeared in his hand as he crazily attacked the locked space of the Flying Dragon Continent, causing the entire Flying Dragon Continent to tremble. However, no matter how he attacked, he was unable to break through. Lu Yiping didn't stop him, and let him attack. The space of the Flying Dragon Continent had been sealed by his spacetime Great Tao. If he wanted to break it open, he would have to defeat him, or Yin Gu could comprehend the spacetime Great Tao like him. Otherwise, Yin Gu wouldn't be able to break it even if he attacked for 100 or 1,000 years. Yin Gu attacked madly, looking at the approaching Lu Yiping. His heart was filled with fear. Lu Yiping brought out Mount Buzhou, and the mountain crashed down on his opponent. Yin Gu was shocked, and the saint artifact in his hand attacked Mount Buzhou, trying to block it. However, he was pushed away by Mount Buzhou, and after a while, Mount Buzhou slammed into the ground at the end of the sky. Lu Yiping arrived at the end of the sky, and Mount Buzhou flew up in his hand. 3 supreme Great Tao energy poured into Mount Buzhou, and it slammed down on Yin Gu again. The ground shook. After a few more times, Lu Yiping did the same, picking up the dying Yin Gu like he was picking up a corpse, sealed his saint energy, and threw him into the cauldron of heaven and earth. As for his saint artifact, he also threw it into the cauldron of heaven and earth. Lu Yiping returned to Taurus Longjiao and ruler Enigma's side. He looked at the trembling Dui, Big Luo, and the group of rulers in the distance, and then left with Taurus Longjiao and ruler Enigma. Dui, Big Luo, and the rest fell to their knees. It was only after Lu Yiping had disappeared for a long time that Dui, Big Luo, and the rest could finally relax. Many rulers and experts looked at the flying dragon city that had turned into ruins, and the flying dragon continent that looked like it would collapse at any moment. They couldn't calm down for a long time. Recalling the scene of Zhu Ling, Dark Hell Ghost Beast, and Yin Gu being tortured by Lu Yiping, Dui, Big Luo, and the rest felt an urge to drink water. The Saint of Heaven and Earth. Dui muttered softly, and when he said the word Saint of Heaven and Earth, his heart trembled. Chapter 399. Unparalleled in the Myriad Worlds. The Grand Ruler whispered with a complicated expression. 3 Supreme Grand Daos. Attacking 3 sages, if this wasn't unparalleled in the Myriad Worlds, then what was? However, the Immortal Lord won't let the matter rest so easily after the Golden Lightning Saints incident, right? Du-Yi hesitated. The ruler's hearts sank, and they felt uneasy. If the Immortal World's Lord were to vent his anger on the Divine World because of the Golden Lightning Saint, the entire Divine World would suffer. Immortal World. In the Central Continent, countless immortal palaces floated above the Jotian continent. Between the palaces, there were countless heavenly soldiers in all kinds of armor. This was where the Immortal World's heavenly court was located. Hao Tian sat on the Immortal World's Lord's throne, looking at the message talisman in his hand. The message talisman was about the Divine World's convention of myriad races. It was extremely detailed and vivid. After reading it, Hao Tian calmly stood up from his throne and walked out of the hall to the observation platform. From here, he could see the Central Continent's endless scenery. 3 Supreme Grand Daos. Hao Tian sighed as he looked at the horizon. After leaving the Flying Dragon City, Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the mysterious Sky Ruler arrived at a barren mountain valley on the Flying Dragon continent. He threw Zhu Ling, the Dark Hell Ghost Beast, and Yin Yu out of the cauldron of heaven and earth. Then, he started to flip through their memories. From their memories, Lu Yiping learned a lot about the Immortal World's heavenly court and the immemorial Yin Borer. However, Lu Yiping didn't kill the 3 of them. Instead, he kept them alive because they would be of great use in the future. Then, Lu Yiping's group of 3 went to the Flying Dragon Continent's Star Maple Divine Sect. From Yin Yu and the Dark Hell Ghost Beast's memories, Lu Yiping learned that the Yin Borer race's headquarters was hidden in the Star Maple Divine Sect. The Star Maple Divine Sect was one of the super sects of the Flying Dragon Continent. However, it was very ordinary among the many super sects of the Flying Dragon Continent. Normally, it got along well with the various super sects of the Flying Dragon Continent. On the surface, it acted in an upright manner. Very quickly, Lu Yiping arrived at the Star Maple Divine Sect. As soon as he arrived, Lu Yiping's Jianshu began to shake violently. Not only the Jianshu, but even Mount Buzhou was shaking. Without another word, Lu Yiping immediately raised Mount Buzhou and expanded it to its largest size. At the same time, the power of the 3 supreme great paths poured into Mount Buzhou and blasted it towards the ancestral grounds of the Celestial Maple Divine Sect. Mount Buzhou turned into a huge river of flowing light and slammed into the grand array of the ancestral land of the Star Maple Divine Sect. With a loud bang, the restrictions around the ancestral land of the Star Maple Divine Sect were shattered. Mount Buzhou continued its momentum and crashed into the ancestral land of the Star Maple Divine Sect. Enemy attack. Activate the Purple Star Divine Array. Everyone, attack. Fierce voices rang out from the ancestral grounds of the Star Maple Divine Sect. In the next instant, silhouettes rushed out from the Star Maple Divine Sect's ancestral land. There were probably tens of thousands of them. However, the tens of thousands of Inba clan experts who had just rushed out from the ancestral grounds of the Star Maple Divine sect were instantly blasted away by Mount Buzhou. Mount Buzhou was unstoppable as it plowed through the Inba clan experts. In an instant, the sky above the ancestral grounds of the Star Maple Divine sect was covered in a rain of blood. The strongest of the Inba clan experts was a supreme ruler. The weakest was a supreme god. How could they withstand Lu Yiping's 3 supreme great paths? Mount Buzhou flew back into Lu Yiping's hand. There was no more aura in the ancestral grounds of the Star Maple Divine sect. Looking at the disciples rushing out from the various peaks of the Star Maple Divine sect, Lu Yiping said indifferently, "Kill them all." Some of the disciples of the Star Maple Divine sect were from the Inba clan. Those who weren't had already submitted to the Inba clan. Immediately, Taurus Longjiao and Mei's Tian broke through the sky and rushed into the Star Maple Divine sect. The sky pillar in Taurus Longjiao's hand enlarged and swept out. The sect master and the supreme elders of the Star Maple Divine sect were swept away like leaves. Soon, blood dyed the countless peaks of the Star Maple Divine sect red. Blood gathered into a stream and flowed between the peaks. Lu Yiping arrived at the Star Maple Divine sect's ancestral grounds and punched out. His fist broke through space and smashed the Inba clan's treasury door. As the Dark Borer race's treasury door was smashed into smithereens, shocking treasure chi and chaos spiritual chi rushed out from the treasury. The treasure chi and chaos spiritual chi were like torrential waves crashing against the Star Maple Divine sect's ancestral land. Just from the treasure chi and chaos spiritual chi, one could see how shocking the treasures of the Inba clan's treasury were. Lu Yiping walked into the Inba clan's treasury door and looked around. All kinds of chaos lights flickered as if he had entered a colorful world. Taurus Longjiao and Mei's Tian had finished cleaning up the Star Maple Divine sect's disciples and arrived at the treasury door. When they saw the dazzling world in front of them, they were stunned. Even Taurus Longjiao, who had followed Lu Yiping for many years, couldn't help but feel shocked. Previously, they had found the Inba clan's treasury in the Heavenly Water Mainland's land of Black Devils. But compared to the treasury in front of them, it paled in comparison. Lu Yiping ignored the treasures, chaos spiritual herbs, and chaos spirit stones. He went straight to the place where the tree creation tree was kept. He summoned the tree creation tree and started to merge with the tree creation tree. The tree creation tree that was 280,000 meters long glowed brightly as it continued to grow. The tree trunk grew thicker, and the number of Grand Dao runes on the tree trunk increased. The amount of profound yellow qi in the tree creation tree increased. Soon, the tree creation tree broke through 290,000 meters. One day later, when the tree creation tree broke through 300,000 meters, light erupted from the tree creation tree like an erupting volcano. In that instant, the chaos spiritual qi disappeared as it transformed into profound yellow qi. The Grand Dao aura around the tree creation tree increased exponentially, and it lit up the treasury. Taurus Longjiao and the mysterious sky ruler were enshrouded in a dazzling light. The dragon horn golden bull and mysterious sky hegemon couldn't hide their shock as they stared at the glorious achievements. When the tree creation tree broke through 300,000 meters, the words on the tree trunk shone brightly, and the 11th stage of the immortal sky would art appeared. Based on the tree creation tree's previous growth, the 11th stage of the immortal sky would art would only appear when it reached 320,000 meters. But now, at 300,000 meters, the tree creation tree transformed, and the 11th stage of the immortal sky would art appeared. After breaking through 300,000 meters, the tree creation tree continued to devour the remaining tree pieces in the treasury and continued to grow. In the end, it stopped growing at 340,000 meters. Lu Yiping then took out the Buzhou mountain and merged it with the Buzhou mountain stones in the treasury. Several days later, the Buzhou mountain's height reached 21,000 meters. Next, Lu Yiping sat cross-legged under the tree creation tree, devouring the profound yellow qi as he cultivated the immortal sky-wood art and continued to comprehend the fortune jade disc's grand Tao. Taurus Longjiao and the mysterious sky ruler also began to cultivate under the tree creation tree. 300 years went by. As Lu Yiping continued to devour the profound yellow qi, the auspicious cloud above his head grew every 100 years. 300 years later, the auspicious cloud had grown from 10 mu to 13 mu. Lu Yiping's immortal sky-wood art had also reached the 10th stage. As for the 8 pieces of the fortune jade disc's grand Tao, he had almost fully comprehended them. Chapter 400. In these 300 years, there were no major movements in the immortal world, nor did the Lord of the immortal world send an army to the divine world. This made Dui, Big Luo, and the others, who had been on tenterhooks in the divine world, heave a sigh of relief. 300 years later, Lu Yiping and the other 2 left the Star Maple Divine Sect. Before leaving, the 3 of them took away all the treasures in the Yinyang Bora race's treasury. After leaving, Lu Yiping did not leave the Flying Dragon continent. Instead, he went to the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's headquarters. In these few hundred years, the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce had sent many messages, saying that they had found the building tree and Buzhou mountain stone. When the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's president Xia Chuhan learned of Lu Yiping's arrival, she quickly led a group of True Dragon Chamber of Commerce's experts to welcome Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping explained his purpose of visit, and Xia Chuhan took out the building tree and Buzhou mountain stone that she had prepared beforehand. In these few years, the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce had found quite a lot of building tree and Buzhou mountain stone. Although it could not be compared to the Yinyang Bora race's treasury, it was much more than the sky water lair. Lu Yiping paid the purple gold chaos water to the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce according to the price they had agreed on. After putting away the building tree block and Buzhou mountain stone, Lu Yiping left the True Dragon Chamber of Commerce and found a place to fuse the building tree block and Buzhou mountain stone. A few days later, the building tree finally grew to 370,000 meters after merging with the building tree. As for Buzhou mountain, it had grown to 30,000 meters. When the building tree grew to 370,000 meters, the black-yellow qi gushed out like an ocean, and the grand Tao runes on the tree grew by a lot. Lu Yiping stood under the building tree and looked up. Between the lush branches and leaves, heaven-opening words intertwined to form a mysterious diagram that flickered with light. Lu Yiping looked at these mysterious diagrams and felt that they were extremely profound and mysterious. These mysterious diagrams seemed to contain a supreme grand Tao technique. However, these diagrams were not complete yet. Taurus Longjiao looked at the building tree's abnormally thick trunk and said, "I wonder how is the building tree's defense?" Lu Yiping laughed. "Try attacking with all your might." Taurus Longjiao was stunned. "Full power?" Lu Yiping nodded. "Full force. Use all your bull strength." Taurus Longjiao walked towards Jian Shu and stood 100 meters away from him. Light flickered as he transformed into a golden bull. His true form was his strongest offensive state. After transforming into its true form, Taurus Longjiao's entire body shone with a golden light, and its dragon horns flickered with lightning. When its aura reached its peak, it suddenly slammed its claws at Jian Shu. The monstrous thunder power and the sky-filling golden light bombarded the tree of creation. There was a loud bang. Jian Shu stood still, while Taurus Longjiao was forced to retreat. He Gemin bewilderment was shocked. Taurus Longjiao was a supreme sovereign, only half a step away from the Saint Realm. Moreover, he had transformed into his true form to attack, which was comparable to several supreme sovereigns attacking at the same time, but Jian Shu hadn't even flinched. Not even a piece of tree bark fell off. Taurus Longjiao didn't believe it and attacked again with all his might. Jian Shu still didn't move, but Taurus Longjiao was forced back even further. When he came to a stop, he felt the blood in his body churning, and his hands were in extreme pain. Ruler Mystery Heaven was shocked. Lu Yiping said to Taurus Longjiao, with Jian Shu's current defense, let alone you, even many Dao-confirming sages wouldn't be able to break through his defense. Even Dao-confirming sages can't break through his defense? Ruler Mystery Heaven was shocked. Dao-confirming sages were the strongest existences in the myriad of worlds. If even Dao-confirming sages couldn't break through Jian Shu's defense, then how strong was Jian Shu's defense? Taurus Longjiao smiled bitterly. No wonder I couldn't break through Jian Shu's defense even after using my bull strength. Even Dao-confirming sages couldn't break through Jian Shu's defense, let alone a ruler like him. Looking at Jian Shu in front of him, Taurus Longjiao couldn't help but feel powerless and defeated. A few thousand years ago, Jian Shu had just regained its vitality and sprouted a pea-sized sprout. Now, it was already a 370,000 meters tall tree. Even his all-out attack couldn't shake it at all. This made Taurus Longjiao feel like he was in his twilight years. Was he old? Lu Yiping sensed the change in Taurus Longjiao's expression and said, don't be discouraged. Your talent and cultivation speed aren't inferior to the Golden Lightning Sage Zhu Ling. Sooner or later, you'll surpass her. Then, his gaze landed on Jian Shu. Jian Shu is the universe's #1 divine tree. You definitely can't compare to it. Taurus Longjiao nodded seriously. Lu Yiping retrieved Jian Shu, then strolled around the Flying Dragon continent with Taurus Longjiao and Mysterious Heaven Ruler. As they strolled, he tried to sense the Barbarian Dragon token he had obtained from the Barbarian Dragon's abode. According to Lu Yiping's thoughts, the Barbarian Dragon's abode should be on the Flying Dragon continent. As long as he was within a certain range, he would be able to sense the Barbarian Dragon's abode through the token. However, the Flying Dragon continent was very vast. It wasn't easy to find the Barbarian Dragon's abode with just a token. 1 month later, there was still no result. 3 months later, it was still the same. Lu Yiping didn't feel discouraged. Finally, on the 4th month, when they were passing by the ruins of an ancient city, the Barbarian Dragon token finally vibrated. Lu Yiping was overjoyed. He followed the direction of the token and flew towards the depths of the ancient city. In the end, he found the Barbarian Dragon's abode somewhere underground. The 3 of them blasted open the restrictions of the abode and successfully entered the abode. However, after searching for a while, Lu Yiping was disappointed. Although there were many treasures in the abode, there wasn't the creation jade disc. Lu Yiping, on the other hand, found a lot of information about the immemorial heavenly court in the abode. He even found some information about Jian Shu's main body. This was a pleasant surprise. The immortal world. Lu Yiping muttered. From the information, Lu Yiping knew that Jian Shu's main body was in the immortal world. As for where in the immortal world, he wasn't sure. However, knowing that it was in the immortal world, it was easy to find. Now, he had only obtained fragments of Jian Shu. How big was Jian Shu's main body? If Jian Shu merged with the main body, it would grow to a terrifying extent. After plundering the treasures in the Barbarian Dragon's abode, Lu Yiping left the Flying Dragon continent. However, he didn't head to the immortal world immediately. Instead, he searched for the nests of the Inborer race. Other than their headquarters, the Inborer race had hundreds of nests in the divine world. Among these nests, there were pieces of Jian Shu. Although there weren't many pieces of Jian Shu in these nests, many little drops made an ocean. If Jian Shu merged with all the pieces of these nests, it should be able to break through to 400,000 meters. Once it broke through to 400,000 meters, Jian Shu would bear fruit. Therefore, for the next 10 years, Lu Yiping searched for the nests of the Inborer race. From Emu, Lu Yiping already knew the location of these nests, so it wasn't difficult to find them. After 10 years, Jian Shu finally broke through to 400,000 meters after fusing with the pieces of Jian Shu in the treasure trove of the Inborer race's nests. Chapter 401. When the creation tree reached 400,000 meters, an auspicious light flickered between the leaves at the top of the creation tree. A dazzling yellow fruit slowly grew out. When this fruit grew out, the entire creation tree seemed to gain a new color. It was dazzling, mysterious, and full of vitality. The 400,000-meter-tall creation tree had lush foliage and was incomparably huge. It was dazzling, but Lu Yiping and the others immediately saw the fruit. It wasn't big, only the size of 2 thumbs, but it gave Lu Yiping and the others a feeling that it was a living creature that contained the essence of the grand Tao of heaven and earth. The fruit emitted a strange fragrance. Taurus Longjiao had never smelled anything so fragrant before. Looking at the fragrant fruit, Taurus Longjiao couldn't help but swallow. As for Ruler Enigma, he almost drooled. Even Lu Yiping felt his appetite increase when he looked at the fruit. After reaching 400,000 meters, the creation tree's foliage grew even more luxuriant, and the 12th stage of the immortal sky-wood art appeared. Previously, when the creation tree reached 300,000 meters, the 11th stage appeared. Now, at 400,000 meters, the creation tree transformed again, and the 12th stage appeared. When the creation tree stopped growing, Lu Yiping threw Zhu Ling, Yin and the dark hell ghost beast out. Zhu Ling, Yin and the dark hell ghost beast were equally shocked and they saw the creation tree. Creation tree! Zhu Ling exclaimed. Lu Yiping didn't just restore Mount Buzhou's vitality, he also restored the creation tree's vitality. The creation tree had grown to 400,000 meters, and it had even borne fruit. Dao fruit! Yin stared at the fruit excitedly. Although the Dao fruit was only the size of 2 thumbs, it was a super tonic even for Sage Realm experts. Swallowing a Dao fruit like this could save a Sage Realm expert tens of thousands of years of cultivation. For example, he had cultivated for 60 million years, but his auspicious clouds were only 14 mu. Swallowing a Dao fruit like this could increase his auspicious clouds by an entire mu or more. Not bad, Dao fruit. Lu Yiping said. Then, he controlled the creation tree's millions of roots to pierce into the chests of Zhu Ling, Dark Hell Ghost Beast, and Yin Gu. Zhu Ling, Dark Hell Ghost Beast, and Yin Gu were all true saints. Their saint physique's defenses were extremely strong, and many chaos spiritual treasures couldn't break through their saint physique's defenses, but Jian Shu was able to do so without any hindrance. Zhu Ling, Dark Hell Ghost Beast, and Yin Yu were both shocked and furious. Lu Yiping, what are you trying to do? Zhu Ling was terrified. She had a bad feeling about this. Lu Yiping didn't look at the 3 of them. Instead, he looked at Jian Shu's golden fruit. Why do you think I didn't kill you back then? Zhu Ling looked at the fruit and guessed Lu Yiping's thoughts. She roared, Lu Yiping, you killed a saint. You won't have a good ending. In the Yin Valley, the Black Hell Ghost Beasts struggled frantically. Both of them knew what Lu Yiping was going to do. However, the 3 of them had already been sealed by Lu Yiping, and their struggles were futile. The creation tree started to glow. The 3 of them felt the saint energy in their body, and even the grand Tao energy they comprehended, flowing into the creation tree through the roots. Zhu Ling attacked the creation tree's roots madly. However, no matter how hard they attacked, the creation tree's roots didn't break. Even when Yin Gu and the Dark Hell Ghost Beast attacked at the same time, the creation tree's roots didn't break. When it was 300,000 meters tall, Jian Shu's defense was already shocking. Even true saints couldn't break through its defense, not to mention now that it had broken through 400,000 meters, its defense was even more shocking. Yin Gu could feel all the saint energy and grand Tao energy in his body being absorbed by the creation tree. He roared, Lu Yiping, you won't die a good death. Kill me if you have the guts. Lu Yiping said indifferently, don't worry, I will do as you wish. It won't be long before your other primal ancestors reunite with you. In the Yin Valley, the Black Hell Ghost Beast and Zhu Ling attacked crazily, cursing Lu Yiping. However, as the creation tree's roots continued to absorb their saint energy and grand Tao energy, they became weaker and weaker. If it were other items that could open the heavens, they wouldn't be able to absorb the saint energy. However, as the universe's number one divine tree, the creation tree could. The creation tree's roots glowed with golden light. Taurus Longjiao and Maze Tian could clearly see the three primal ancestors' saint energy and grand Tao energy being channeled into the creation tree's trunk. In the end, the three primal ancestors' saint energy and grand Tao energy were completely sucked dry. Following that, the creation tree started to extract their saint energy. Sensing that their saint body origin was being extracted, the three from Yin Valley were even more terrified. Their saint power and great path strength had been extracted. As long as their saint body origin was still there, they would still have the opportunity to cultivate their saint power and great path strength back. However, if their saint body origin was also extracted, they would never have the chance again. The three primal ancestors despaired. Half a day later, the three primal ancestors' saint energy was completely sucked dry. Just as the three primal ancestors' saint energy was sucked dry, the branches and leaves beside the original fruit flickered, and three golden fruits grew out. The three fruits emitted the same exotic fragrance. One was the size of a thumb, the other was the size of 2 thumbs, and the last one was the size of a small fist. These three fruits were different from the creation tree's original fruit. The original fruit was yellow in color, but these three fruits were milky white, the same color as the three primal ancestors' auspicious clouds. Taurus Longjiao and Maze Tian couldn't hide their shock seeing the three primal ancestors' saint energy, grand Tao energy, and saint energy growing out from the creation tree. Lu Yiping's fire grand Tao flew out from his body. The fire grand Tao was ranked 19th among the 3,000 grand Taos. Then, the reincarnation grand Tao, ranked 7th, flew out. After the fire grand Tao flew out, it turned into a fire dragon that coiled around Zhu Ling, Yin Gu, and the dark hell ghost beast. At the same time, the reincarnation grand Tao enveloped the space around the three primal ancestors, sealing their souls and vitality. Under the fire grand Tao's burning, the three primal ancestors slowly turned into ashes. Everything disappeared, and with Lu Yiping's reincarnation grand Tao, they didn't even have the chance to enter the cycle of reincarnation. After killing the three primal ancestors, Lu Yiping's hand reached out, and the white thumb-sized fruit fell into his palm. He passed the fruit to Maze Tian and said, "You can refine this Tao fruit." This Tao fruit was condensed from Zhu Ling's saint energy, grand Tao energy, and saint energy. Maze Tian was flattered, and he waved his hand in a fluster, "Master, I can't take this Tao fruit." Lu Yiping shook his head, "Take it. With this Tao fruit, your chances of entering the saint realm will be higher, and the creation tree will grow more Tao fruits in the future." In the end, under Lu Yiping's order, Maze Tian accepted the fruit. Chapter 402. Lu Yiping then plucked the white Tao fruit the size of 2 thumbs and gave it to Taurus Longjiao. This Tao fruit was formed by extracting the saint force, Tao force, and origin force of the black hell ogre beast. Taurus Longjiao was at the critical juncture of becoming a saint. With this Tao fruit, he should be able to ascend quickly. "Master, this Tao fruit is more useful to you. It's a waste to give it to me." Taurus Longjiao shook his head and was about to refuse when Lu Yiping shook his head. "This Tao fruit is more useful to me, but it's just as important to you. Besides, I'll have plenty of Tao fruits in the future." He then had Taurus Longjiao accept it. Taurus Longjiao finally accepted the Tao fruit. Next, Lu Yiping and the others sat cross-legged under the tree of creation and swallowed Tao fruits to cultivate. Lu Yiping swallowed the fist-sized white fruit first. This Tao fruit was formed by extracting the saint force, Tao force, and origin force of the Yin Valley. Therefore, it was much larger than Taurus Longjiao and Maxim's. This fruit contained more saint energy and great path energy than saint energy. As Lu Yiping refined the Tao fruit, the auspicious cloud above his head slowly grew. Originally, it was only 10 mu in size, but now it was approaching 11 mu. Lu Yiping's saint force also grew noticeably. 1 mu of auspicious cloud could gather 100 million saint force. Lu Yiping's original 10 mu of auspicious cloud was a billion saint force. As the auspicious cloud approached 11 mu, Lu Yiping's saint force also approached 11 billion. When Lu Yiping finished refining the Tao fruit, the auspicious cloud above his head had grown to 11 mu, but it was still a long way from 12 mu. Lu Yiping immediately plucked the yellow Tao fruit from Jian Shu and swallowed it. This yellow Tao fruit contained far more grand Tao energy than the one in the Yin Valley. As soon as it entered his mouth, it transformed into a monstrous grand Tao energy that poured into Lu Yiping's body. Lu Yiping's auspicious cloud grew at a speed visible to the naked eye. Very quickly, the auspicious cloud grew to 12 mu. However, after Qing Yun had grown to a certain extent, it would become harder for it to grow. Therefore, several days later, when Lu Yiping had completely refined the yellow Tao fruit, the auspicious cloud had just broken through to 13 mu. As for bewildering heaven and Taurus Longjiao, their refining speed was far slower than Lu Yiping's. Thus, when Lu Yiping finished refining the 2 Tao fruits, the 2 of them were still cultivating. Lu Yiping did not interrupt them. He sat cross-legged at the bottom of Jian Shu and continued cultivating the immortal Skywood technique. Now that his immortal Skywood technique had reached the 10th level, his saint body's defense had far surpassed the Yin Valley, the abyssal ghost beast, and Zhu Ling. If his immortal Skywood technique reached the 12th level, his defense would be as terrifying as the 400,000-meter-tall Jian Shu. Thus, he had to cultivate the immortal Skywood technique to the 12th level as soon as possible, and the secret of longevity to the 49th level. Since the Jian Shu had grown to 400,000 meters, the black and yellow qi was much denser than when it was 300,000 meters tall. Thus, Lu Yiping's cultivation speed was much faster than before. After several hundred years, Lu Yiping finally reached the 12th level of the immortal Skywood technique. However, the secret of longevity was still a little short of the 49th level. As for the great Daos in the 8 good fortune jade discs, Lu Yiping had already comprehended most of them. After several hundred years, he had finally comprehended all the great Daos in the 8 good fortune jade discs. The first good fortune jade disc contained 1,000 great Daos, and the other 7 discs contained 100 great Daos. Thus, Lu Yiping had comprehended 1,700 great Daos. For example, Yin Valley had only comprehended 10 great Daos in the Saint Realm, which was already rare in the Yinba clan. However, Lu Yiping had comprehended 1,700 great Daos in the Saint Realm. This was simply shocking. Of course, this was mainly because Lu Yiping possessed the good fortune jade disc and had a bloodline connection with it. Thus, he was able to comprehend 1,700 great Daos. If it were any other sage, even if they obtained the good fortune jade disc, they wouldn't be able to refine it. They wouldn't be able to comprehend 1,700 great Daos like Lu Yiping. After several hundred years, Lu Yiping reached the 12th level of the immortal Skywood technique. When he stopped cultivating, Taurus Longjiao and ruler Mi Tian had already finished refining the Tao fruit. Their transformation was shocking. Taurus Longjiao had successfully entered the Saint Realm. Although he hadn't confirmed his Tao, entering the Saint Realm meant that he had crossed the threshold of the true Saint Realm. As for ruler Mi Tian, he had entered the late-stage sovereign realm. His battle strength far surpassed ordinary late-stage sovereigns. Lu Yiping stood up and looked at the two's transformation. He nodded and smiled. Not bad. Taurus Longjiao grinned. It's all thanks to Master's nurturing. Ruler Mi Tian fell to his knees and kowtowed in thanks to Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping helped Hegemon Mystery Heaven to his feet and asked, "Do you know how your eldest apprentice brother, second apprentice brother, and third apprentice sister are doing?" He had 4 personal disciples, and He-Gemin Mystery Heaven was his youngest personal disciple. He-Gemin Mystic Heaven was stunned, and he said, eldest senior brother should be in the immortal world. As for second senior brother and third senior sister, I don't know. He then told Lu Yiping some details about his eldest senior brother. Master, why don't I go with you to the immortal world? Ruler Mi Tian said. I haven't seen eldest senior brother in many years. Lu Yiping thought for a moment, then shook his head. You shouldn't go to the immortal world for now. He then added, I'm afraid that something big will happen there. Something big? Ruler Mi Tian blinked, then nodded. Afterward, Lu Yiping gave Ruler Mi Tian some pointers on the problems he had encountered in his cultivation over the years. Several months passed in the blink of an eye. Lu Yiping parted ways with Ruler Mi Tian and headed to the immortal world with Taurus Longjiao. The immortal world was the leader of the myriad of worlds. Although it wasn't too far from the God world, the journey from the God world to the immortal world was fraught with difficulties. First of all, one had to pass through the realm walls of each world. Without a certain level of strength, one wouldn't even be able to pass through the realm walls. Even ordinary paramount gods wouldn't be able to do so. After passing through the realm walls, one would have to travel through the boundless Milky Way. The Milky Way between the realms was filled with spatial storms and all sorts of terrifying creatures. The weather was so bad that even paramount gods would find it difficult to travel. However, to Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, these spatial storms and terrifying creatures were minor problems. After leaving the God world, Lu Yiping used the great Tao of spacetime to bring Taurus Longjiao through the boundless Milky Way. In the blink of an eye, they were 1,000,000 kilometers away. The two of them didn't stop to rest. After an indeterminate amount of time, they arrived in front of an enormous river. What flowed in this river was a type of water from the stars. Stardust rolled about within it, blocking the path of the two of them. They couldn't see the source nor the end. Chapter 403. This river was called the Black Abyss Stars Sand River. As long as one crossed the Black Abyss Stars Sand River, they wouldn't be far from the immortal world. However, crossing the Black Abyss Stars Sand River wasn't an easy task. The Black Abyss Stars Sand River had a terrifying devouring power. Once one was sucked into the Black Abyss Stars Sand River, even a sovereign realm expert would find it hard to survive. Lu Yiping and the Black Abyss Stars Sand River broke through the billowing astral energy and entered the space above the Black Abyss Stars Sand River. Then, they turned into 2 streaks of light and sped towards the opposite bank. As soon as the two entered the space above the Black Abyss Stars Sand River, they encountered the terrifying devouring power at the bottom of the Black Abyss Stars Sand River. However, this devouring power was negligible to Lu Yiping and the Black Abyss Stars Sand River. The Black Abyss Stars Sand River formed its own space. Therefore, Lu Yiping and the Black Abyss Stars Sand River needed some time to cross it. However, as they passed through the Black Abyss Stars Sand River, the two were attacked by numerous sand beasts. The Black Abyss Stars Sand River had been around for countless years. It had probably existed for even longer than the immortal world and divine world. In these countless years, the Black Abyss Stars Sand River had given birth to some fierce beasts with spiritual intelligence. These fierce beasts' physiques were extremely similar to the Black Abyss Stars Sand River. Many sovereign realm experts couldn't sense their existence. Moreover, they were strong, with many of them not weaker than sovereign realm experts. Therefore, many sovereign realm experts would be injured if they weren't careful. Encountering these Black Abyss Stars Sand Beasts, Lu Yiping and the Black Abyss Stars Sand Beasts exploded. Although Taurus Longjiao had just entered the Saint Realm, his strength had increased by several folds. Even several peak late-stage sovereign realm experts couldn't withstand a single-finger attack from him. He had twin bloodlines, and his combat strength was much stronger than the fixed heaven ruler when he entered the Saint Realm. An hour later, Lu Yiping and the Black Abyss Stars Sand River passed through the Black Abyss Stars Sand River without any hindrance and arrived at the opposite bank. Then, without stopping, they rushed towards the immortal world. As the two of them continued to fly forward, an extremely vast and resplendent world finally appeared at the end of the Milky Way. Taurus Longjiao smiled as he looked at this vast world that was emitting resplendent light and illuminating the endless space. Awesome, I've finally seen the home of my dreams. After leaving the God realm, Taurus Longjiao hadn't seen a single soul along the way. Now that he was finally in the immortal realm, he smiled from the bottom of his heart. Although he was born in the dragon realm, he had special feelings for the immortal realm. The first time he met Lu Yiping was in the immortal realm. The first time he had barbecued meat and drank wine with Lu Yiping was also in the immortal realm. Many of his firsts with Lu Yiping were also in the immortal realm. Moreover, he had spent his childhood in the immortal realm. I wonder how uncle is doing right now. Taurus Longjiao sighed. He had an uncle in the immortal world who had brought him up. When we reach the immortal world, we'll head to Demon Ox Mountain first, Lu Yiping said. Taurus Longjiao's uncle's residence was on Demon Ox Mountain. Master, your matter is more important. We can go to Demon Ox Mountain in the future, the Dragon Horn Golden Bull said. He knew that Lu Yiping's main purpose in coming to the immortal realm was to find Master Jianshu and the Yinba race's headquarters. As long as he could find the headquarters, he might be able to completely destroy the Yinba race. Lu Yiping shook his head. My matter isn't urgent. Let's go to Demon Ox Mountain first. Taurus Longjiao nodded and grinned. Alright, we'll drink fruit wine then. Fruit wine was a specialty of Demon Ox Mountain. The first time Taurus Longjiao barbecued meat and drank wine with Lu Yiping was the fruit wine. The unique taste of the fruit wine was unforgettable for Taurus Longjiao. Lu Yiping smiled. Alright, let's drink for 3 days and 3 nights. Alright, let's drink for 3 days and 3 nights. Taurus Longjiao smiled. The two quickly flew towards the immortal world. With their full strength, the immortal world grew closer and closer. The light of the immortal world grew brighter and brighter. As the two approached the immortal world, their bodies were illuminated by the light of the immortal world. Finally, the two arrived in front of the immortal world's boundary wall. Lu Yiping's great Tao light surged and directly passed through the boundary wall. Taurus Longjiao followed closely behind. The two entered the immortal world one after another. As soon as they entered the immortal world, the picturesque scenery of the immortal world appeared before their eyes. At this time, the sun had just risen. The morning sun shone on the vast land of the immortal world. It was beautiful and magnificent. Taurus Longjiao looked at the beautiful immortal world in front of him and took a deep breath of the surrounding spiritual energy. The spiritual energy of the immortal world was different from that of the God realm. This unique spiritual energy that only belonged to the immortal world made Taurus Longjiao feel incomparably comfortable. Lu Yiping also breathed in the spiritual energy of the immortal world and smiled. The air of the immortal world is still the most comfortable. Then, he stepped forward with Taurus Longjiao. Not long after, the two arrived at a city in front of them. The city was extremely lively. Lu Yiping smiled. Let's go take a look. The two landed on the main road in front of the city gate and then followed the flow of people into the city. Almost all of the people in the city were human cultivators. These human cultivators wore the immortal robes of various sections. In the God realm, they cultivated divine power. In the immortal world, they cultivated immortal power. The heavenly court is recruiting. Are we going to take the test? Forget it. With our aptitude, we can't even pass the first test. The immortal master is recruiting so many soldiers. Is he going to war with the demon realm again? The demon realm's demon lord has been invading the immortal world in recent years. In the city, in a restaurant, some experts were chatting. I wonder what the requirements are for this test. I'm not very sure. In the past, one had to be at least in the immortal realm to participate in the test. This time, it seems that the requirements are relaxed. It seems that the half-immortal realm is enough. Listening to the discussion of these human experts, Taurus Longjiao was surprised. Half-immortal realm can participate in the test. Haotian recruited so many cannon fodder. It's useless. If they really went to war with the demon realm, the half-immortal realm experts would be useless. Good news. Our spirit dragon city's city lord has broken through to the Xian immortal realm. The Meng family and the Zhu family are going to have a marriage alliance. Is it true? The Zhu family's sage, the Golden Thunder Sage, didn't really die, did he? Sure. How dare you talk about the Golden Thunder Sage? The discussion around them continued to enter their ears. Taurus Longjiao smiled. It seems that the news of Zhu Ling has spread in the immortal world. Lu Yiping nodded. Zhu Ling was a Tao-confirming sage, so it was normal for the immortal world to be shaken by the death of a Tao-confirming sage. In the divine world, one cultivated the gods, while in the immortal world, one cultivated the immortals. Therefore, the realms in the immortal world were different from those in the divine world. Immortals were equivalent to gods in the divine world. Above them were true immortals, celestial immortals, profound immortals, high immortals, peerless immortals, golden immortals, grand unity golden immortals, perfected golden immortals, heavenly monarchs, immortal emperors, and celestial venerables. A heavenly venerable was equivalent to the ruler of the divine world, and above that was the saint realm, the saint realm. Regardless of whether it was divine cultivation or immortal cultivation, the ultimate goal was to prove one's Tao and become a saint. All the different paths led to the same destination. Chapter 404. Who's the marriage between the Meng and the Zhu? I don't know. I heard it's Empress Meng Qiantong and Immortal Emperor Zhu Heng. What? Empress Meng Qiantong? She's my goddess. Goddess my ass. Why don't you take a look in the mirror? You're not even fit to be Empress Meng Qiantong's horse. If I'm not fit to be Empress Meng Qiantong's horse, then I'll clean her shoes. In the surrounding streets, shops, restaurants, and even the experts of the various sects and clans were talking about the marriage alliance between the Meng clan and the Zhu clan. The Meng and the Zhu were giants in the immortal world. As the most outstanding disciple of the Meng, Meng Qiantong had both beauty and strength. She was the dream lover of all the male disciples in the immortal world. Therefore, the male disciples of the immortal world were greatly affected when they heard that the marriage was between Meng Qiantong and Zhu Heng. You guys don't know, but I heard Empress Meng Qiantong doesn't agree to this marriage. Someone suddenly said. Empress Meng Qiantong doesn't agree to this marriage? That's right. Empress Meng Qiantong said that she won't consider marriage until she reaches the sage realm. When the crowd heard this, they once again started discussing heatedly. Lu Yiping stopped when he passed by a restaurant. 3 Lives Restaurant. Lu Yiping looked at the name of the restaurant and thought of some things from the past. I didn't expect this small city to have a 3 Lives restaurant. Taurus Longjiao said. Although Spirit Dragon City was very prosperous, it was just an insignificant city in the immortal world. The city lord was only an abstruse immortal. Let's go in and have a seat. Lu Yiping said and entered the restaurant with Taurus Longjiao. The restaurant was decorated in a very grand manner and occupied a large area. It had 2 floors, each of which was 1,000 square meters. Business was good and there were almost no empty seats. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao didn't go to the second floor. They went to an empty seat in the corner of the first floor and sat down. The two called the waiter over. Lu Yiping threw a supreme-grade immortal stone to the waiter. The shop assistant held the piece of supreme-grade immortal stone in a daze. In the immortal world, the exchange rate of immortal stones was 100 to 1. One piece of supreme-grade immortal stone was equivalent to 100 pieces of high-grade immortal stones, 10,000 pieces of middle-grade immortal stones, and 1,000,000 pieces of low-grade immortal stones. Therefore, a piece of supreme-grade immortal stone was a huge sum in a small city like Spirit Dragon City. A piece of supreme-grade immortal stone could buy a small courtyard in Dragon Spirit City. "Give us 2 jars of 3 lives wine and a table full of good food and wine," Lu Yiping said. The waiter came back to his senses and replied respectfully, "All right, please wait a moment, sirs." Then he smiled bitterly and said, "But, sirs, do you have any high-grade or medium-grade immortal stones? 2 jars of 3 Xing wine and a table of good food and wine won't cost that much." Lu Yiping smiled and said, "I'll leave the rest to you. I have some questions for you." The waiter's eyes widened as he stuttered, "You're giving me the rest?" He couldn't believe it. Lu Yiping smiled and said, "That's right." Then he asked, "Is 3 Lives Old Man still in charge of 3 Lives Restaurant?" The waiter was startled, then he shook his head. "No, our 3 Lives Restaurant has been under Lord Zhu Hucheng's control since 1,000,000 years ago." Zhu Hucheng? Lu Yiping was puzzled. "Yes, Lord Zhu Hucheng is our Lord 3 Lives' nephew," the waiter said. "Nephew?" Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao looked at each other. They remembered that 3 Lives Old Man didn't have any nephews. 3 Lives Old Man doesn't have any brothers or sisters, so how could he have a nephew? Lu Yiping asked. The waiter shook his head. "I'm not sure about this. I only heard it from the elders of the restaurant." Lu Yiping asked a few more questions about 3 Lives Old Man. A while later, the waiter left in high spirits. Soon, he returned with 2 jugs of 3 Lives wine and a table full of dishes for Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. 3 Lives Old Man entered the Azure Lightning Holy Manor. After the waiter left, Taurus Longjiao shook his head. "I'm afraid 3 Lives Old Man's fate is more likely than not." The Azure Lightning Holy Manor was a cultivation dwelling left behind by the Azure Lightning Holy Saint. When the Azure Lightning Holy Manor appeared 1,000,000 years ago, 3 Lives Old Man entered the manor and never came out again. The Azure Lightning Holy Manor was covered in layers of restrictions. If 3 Lives Old Man didn't come out, he was probably dead inside. Lu Yiping shook his head and didn't say anything. Then, he clinked his cup with Taurus Longjiao. After eating and drinking to their heart's content, the two left the restaurant. When the two left the restaurant, they saw a 7 to 8-year-old girl in tattered clothes crying and begging passers-by. "Big brother, big sister, I beg you, please save my mother, I beg you." Although the little girl's clothes were tattered, it couldn't hide her cute and delicate appearance. Although she was only 7 or 8 years old, her cultivation wasn't low. She was already in the half-immortal realm. Even in the immortal world, it was rare for a 7 to 8-year-old disciple to cultivate to the half-immortal realm. When Lu Yiping saw the black phoenix tattoo on her arm, his heart moved and he walked over. When the little girl saw Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao walking over, she couldn't help but go up to Lu Yiping and beg, "Big brother, I beg you, please save my mother." "Little sister, what happened to your mother?" Lu Yiping squatted down and asked. Hearing Lu Yiping's question, the little girl said, "My mother and I came to seek refuge with relatives. On the way, we were robbed by bad people. My mother was heavily injured and she protected me as we escaped here. My mother has been vomiting blood and is about to die." Speaking of this, the little girl started crying. Her cries were extremely mournful. "Where is your mother? Take us to see her," Lu Yiping said. Hearing this, the little girl hurriedly led Lu Yiping to the north of Spirit Dragon City. Finally, they arrived at a dilapidated courtyard overgrown with weeds in the north of Spirit Dragon City. In the corner of the courtyard, a beautiful woman with a noble temperament and creamy skin was lying on the ground. However, her aura was weak and her body was covered in blood. Just as the little girl said, her mother's injuries were extremely serious. The beautiful woman's immortal meridians were shattered and her soul was on the verge of collapse. If they didn't save her, she would definitely die. Mother! The little girl rushed to the beautiful woman's side and cried. Her tears were like plowing plows as she shook the beautiful woman with all her strength. However, the beautiful woman couldn't even open her eyes. Lu Yiping summoned the tree of life and the life force continuously poured into the beautiful woman's body. Soon, the beautiful woman's face began to turn rosy. After stabilizing the beautiful woman's injuries, Lu Yiping recalled the tree of life. Then, he took out an immortal pill and had the little girl feed her mother. Seeing her mother's rosy complexion and no longer vomiting blood, the little girl thanked Lu Yiping and fed her mother the immortal pill. The beautiful woman sat cross-legged and began to refine the immortal pill's medicinal efficacy. Seeing the little girl's nervous expression, Lu Yiping said, "Don't worry. Your mother's injuries will be completely healed tomorrow." At this time, the sky gradually darkened. Lu Yiping made Taurus Longjiao build a bonfire not far away and then cleared the surrounding weeds. Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the little girl sat by the bonfire and chatted. Chapter 405. What is your name? Lu Yiping asked the little girl warmly. The little girl was very obedient and said, "Big brother, my name is Huang Kersen." Huang Kersen. Lu Yiping laughed, "Your name is very nice. You are from the Black Phoenix race, right? How is the Black Phoenix race now?" Hearing Lu Yiping mention the Black Phoenix race, Huang Kersen's eyes suddenly turned red and she started to cry loudly. "Our Black Phoenix race is gone." Huang Kersen cried loudly. "Gone?" Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao's face sank. After Huang Kersen calmed down, Lu Yiping asked, "Kersen, what happened to the Black Phoenix race?" Huang Kersen sobbed, "A few days ago, my mother and I went out to train. When we came back, we found out that our people were all killed. There were corpses and blood everywhere." Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao's eyes turned cold when they heard this. "Do you know who did it?" Taurus Longjiao asked. Huang Kersen shook her head, "I don't know. When my mother and I came back, we saw a group of masked men in black moving the corpses. My mother didn't dare to make a sound and secretly left with me. We originally wanted to go to my grandfather's house but we met bandits on the way." Masked men in black. Lu Yiping muttered, "What are the characteristics of those masked men in black?" Huang Kersen thought for a while and said, "They should be men. They were tall and their eyes had a demonic light. My mother said that they might be human demonic cultivators." Human demonic cultivators? Taurus Longjiao frowned. In the immortal world, there were many human demonic sects and experts. So, just knowing that the other party was a human demonic cultivator was not enough to find the culprit. Lu Yiping fell into deep thought. Even though he only knew that the other party was a demonic cultivator of the human race and it was difficult to find the culprit, the Black Phoenix race was not weak. There were not many demonic cultivator sects that could destroy the Black Phoenix race. At this moment, Huang Kersen's stomach rumbled. "Kersen, you haven't eaten for a long time, right?" Lu Yiping asked. He then took out a huge beast claw, cut off a piece, and roasted it over the bonfire. This beast claw belonged to the dark hell ghost beast that he had killed earlier. The beast claw was huge. He and Taurus Longjiao had roasted it many times. They had already eaten one, and now there was only one left. Soon, the aroma of beast meat filled the air. Huang Kersen smelled the fragrance of the beast meat and felt her whole body was very comfortable. She felt as if she was floating in the air. She looked at the golden and fragrant beast meat on the bonfire and asked, "Big brother, what beast meat is this? It's so fragrant. I've eaten a lot of immortal beast meat but none of them are as fragrant as this." Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao smiled. The world of immortals doesn't have this kind of meat. Taurus Longjiao smiled. There should only be one in the myriad of worlds. Huang Kerson's cute eyes widened. There's only one in the myriad worlds? What kind of beast is that? It's the Dark Hell Ghost Beast. Taurus Longjiao smiled. Dark Hell Ghost Beast? Huang Kerson looked puzzled. She shook her head and said, I don't know. Lu Yiping smiled. After the meat was cooked, he cut off a small piece and gave it to Huang Kerson. It wasn't that he was reluctant, but Huang Kerson was only in the half-celestial stage. It was difficult for her to refine the vast amount of saint origin contained in the Dark Hell Ghost Beast meat. Even if it was only a small piece, it was still extremely vast and terrifying for Huang Kerson. However, with Lu Yiping around, there was no need to worry about Huang Kerson's dantian exploding. Huang Kerson took the small piece of beast meat and salivated. Even so, she still ate it very elegantly and slowly. She took a small bite and felt that her mouth was full of fragrance. The fragrance seemed to seep into every pore in her body and even into her spirit ocean. Big brother, this beast meat is simply too delicious. Huang Kerson was surprised. Lu Yiping and Huang Kerson smiled. This beast meat contains very strong true core. So, after you finish eating, sit down cross-legged and use the Dark Phoenix Race's cultivation method to refine the true core, Lu Yiping said. Lu Yiping didn't say saint origin, only true core. Huang Kerson nodded. After a while, she finished eating the small piece of beast meat and sat down cross-legged as she was told. She used the Dark Phoenix Race's cultivation method to refine the true core in the beast meat. Not long after Huang Kerson started using the Dark Phoenix Race's cultivation method, a vast torrent suddenly rushed out of her body and rushed into her body. Huang Kerson was shocked. However, at this moment, a warm energy suddenly wrapped around her. The torrent in her body became extremely gentle and then flowed into her dantian, where it was continuously converted into celestial core. Lu Yiping's palm emitted a holy light that enveloped Huang Kerson and guided the saint origin in her body. After the saint origin was completely smoothed out, he stopped. Lu Yiping had used a secret technique to seal most of the saint origin in Huang Kerson's body. In the future, as Huang Kerson used the Dark Phoenix Race's cultivation method to cultivate, the saint origin would slowly seep out. Therefore, Huang Kerson's cultivation speed would be 100 times faster than before. At the very least, before the saint origin in her body was completely refined, her cultivation would continue to rise at an astonishing speed. Seeing Huang Kerson refining the Black Hell Ghost Beast meat, Taurus Longjiao said, "This girl's bloodline is very pure. It's not any lower than Huang Weiming's." After a pause, he said, "Since the Dark Phoenix race was annihilated, that brat Huang Weiming wouldn't have died, right?" Lu Yiping didn't say anything. The night passed. The morning sun shone brilliantly into the courtyard. Huang Kerson was the first to wake up. When she woke up, she was pleasantly surprised. "I broke through to the immortal realm. I'm an immortal now." Her little face was full of disbelief. She said excitedly to Lu Yiping, "Big brother, did I really break through to the immortal realm?" Lu Yiping said with a smile, "It's true. You are now in the immortal realm." Huang Kerson stood up, hugged Lu Yiping and kissed him. Then she cheered. The half-celestial realm was still immortal. Only by entering the immortal realm could one shed their mortal body and become an immortal. Immortals and half-celestials had completely different statuses in the immortal realm. No wonder Huang Kerson was so happy. Looking at the cheering Huang Kerson, Taurus Longjiao seemed to see Luo Shui when he was young. He said with emotion, "I wonder how Luo Shui is now." Lu Yiping muttered, "He should be fine." He felt that Luo Shui should still be alive. In the immortal realm, he had asked the true Dragon Chamber of Commerce and other chambers of commerce to look for Luo Shui. However, the immortal realm was vast and it wasn't easy to find a person. So until now, there was still no news of Luo Shui. However, Lu Yiping felt that in the future, there would definitely be a day when he would coincidentally meet Luo Shui. Not long after Huang Kershen woke up, her mother, Chen Yitao, also woke up. When she woke up, Chen Yitao's injuries had completely healed. After she learned from her daughter that it was Lu Yiping who saved her, she walked towards Lu Yiping. Chen Yitao's injuries had healed and her complexion was very good. She was even more beautiful than yesterday. She came in front of Lu Yiping and bowed to thank him. "Yitao, thanks sir for saving my life." Her voice was like a nightingale and very pleasant to listen to. Chapter 406. It's nothing. Lu Yiping helped her up and said, "Moreover, I'm old friends with Huang Weiming of the Black Phoenix race." Chen Yitao was shocked. "Lord knows old ancestor Huang Weiming?" Huang Weiming was one of the strongest old ancestors of the Black Phoenix race, an immortal emperor expert. Lu Yiping nodded. "I know him, but I haven't seen him for 4 million years." He then asked, "Tell me more about the Black Phoenix race." Huang Weiming was someone he met before he entered the Saint Realm. When Chen Yitao heard Lu Yiping asking about the Black Phoenix race, she said, "A few months ago, I went out to train with Kershen. When I returned, I discovered that the Black Phoenix race had undergone a huge change. At that time, there was blood and corpses everywhere. I was afraid that the black-robed masked men would discover me, so I didn't dare to get too close. After that, I used my clan's immortal artifact to conceal my aura and escaped with Kershen. Originally, I wanted to go to Ziluo City to seek refuge with my big brother, but I didn't expect to encounter bandits on the way." Chen Yitao said gratefully, "If it wasn't for you guys, I'm afraid I would have died long ago." "Do you know if Huang Weiming is still alive?" Lu Yiping asked. Chen Yitao shook her head, "I don't know." Lu Yiping asked a few more questions. "Big brother, where are you guys going? Why don't you come with us to Ziluo City?" Huang Kershen pleaded with a reluctant look on her face. Chen Yitao scolded softly, "Kershen, don't be rude, call him Lord." Lu Yiping waved his hand, "It's fine." He then smiled at Huang Kershen, "We're going to Demon Bull Mountain. Since it's on the way, let's go to Ziluo City together." Huang Kershen cheered when she heard that and revealed a sweet smile, "Thank you, big brother. I knew big brother is the best." Taurus Longjiao smiled, "Am I not good? Big brother Xiao Jin is also good." Huang Kershen stuck out her tongue and smiled sweetly. Taurus Longjiao grinned. This was the first time he was called big brother. Xiao Jin. He thought of Tang Bin from the Azure Thunder sect in the Divine World. Taurus Longjiao picked an immortal item from his spatial artifact and passed it to Huang Kershen. He smiled and said, "This is our first meeting. Big brother Xiao Jin doesn't have anything good to give you. Take a look and see if you like this sword." When Chen Yitao saw the small sword, she quickly waved her hand and said, "Lord Xiao Jin, this is too precious. Kershen cannot accept it." Taurus Longjiao said, "It's just a small toy." Then he asked Huang Kershen to accept it. This small sword was a supreme-grade immortal artifact. It was one of the hundreds of supreme-grade immortal artifacts that he and Lu Yiping had obtained after destroying a sect in the immortal world millions of years ago. These things were useless in his spatial artifact. Huang Kershen took the small sword and waved it around. She liked it very much and happily thanked Taurus Longjiao. After that, Lu Yiping and the rest left the small courtyard. Before leaving Spirit Dragon City, Chen Yitao went to a shop to buy an immortal robe. After changing into the immortal robe that was stained with blood, Chen Yitao shone brightly and became even more beautiful. She attracted a lot of attention from the passers-by. After leaving Spirit Dragon City, Lu Yiping and the rest headed north. Lu Yiping and Huang Kershen were not in a hurry, so they accompanied Huang Kershen and Chen Yitao. Along the way, Huang Kershen was chattering non-stop and asked questions. Huang Kershen tilted her head and asked Lu Yiping, "Big brother, how do you know everything? I asked you so many questions and you still don't know any of them." Lu Yiping laughed, "The more books you read, the more you know." Huang Kersen said, "But I also read a lot of books." Chinitao smiled, "How old are you? You only read a few hundred books and you dare to say it's a lot." Because Ziluo City was still far away and they were not in a hurry, when they passed by some cities, they would stop for a night. Normally, they would travel during the day. A few days later, when they passed by a city called Mingguang City, Lu Yiping and the rest were stopped by someone. The people who stopped Lu Yiping and the rest were a group of burly men. There were about 30 to 40 of them and they all looked fierce. Chinitao saw this group of burly men and her face changed. Huang Kersen hid behind Lu Yiping. "Hee hee, two little ladies, we meet again. What a coincidence." The leader stared at Chinitao and grinned. He had a mouth full of yellow teeth and his eyes stared in front of Chinitao. He smiled, "We haven't seen each other for a few days and you have become prettier." Huang Kersen said to Lu Yiping, "Big brother, they are the robbers who tried to rob us earlier." The group of robbers looked at Lu Yiping. One of them laughed, "This brat is not bad looking. Let's capture him and make him third sister's concubine. What do you all think?" The group of robbers cheered in agreement. "Make him third sister's concubine?" Taurus Longjiao snorted coldly. In an instant, his voice was like a clap of thunder, shaking the entire Mingguang City. At this moment, all the experts in Mingguang City felt their souls tremble and they looked towards Taurus Longjiao's direction in fear. Huang Kersen and Chinitao saw the group of robbers standing there stiffly with blood spurting out from their 7 orifices. Yes, they were spurting out blood and not flowing out. This group of robbers fell to the ground at the same time. The ground was empty and all of them were dead. Chinitao was shocked. Although these robbers looked neither fish nor fowl, they were very strong. Many of them were gold immortals, and their leader was even a primordial unity golden immortal like her. How could the dragon horn golden bull kill them all with just a snort? "Let's go." Lu Yiping didn't look at the group of robbers and walked forward with Taurus Longjiao. The road ahead was blocked by the corpses of the robbers, but when Lu Yiping walked past them, the corpses were blown away by the wind like loose sand, disappearing without a trace. Chinitao was shocked. Just now, these robbers were all killed by Taurus Longjiao's snort. Then what happened to the corpses? Why did they suddenly become loose sand and scattered by the wind? Was it Lu Yiping? However, she didn't sense any energy fluctuations from Lu Yiping and there were no other energy fluctuations in the surrounding space. Chinitao was bewildered and followed with her daughter. Huang Kersen didn't think too much and just exclaimed, "Brother Xiao Jin, you are so powerful. You are as powerful as my grandfather and grandfather." "Oh, is that so?" Taurus Longjiao laughed, "Who is your grandfather?" Huang Kersen said proudly, "My grandfather is Qin Wanli, the head of the Qin family in the accumulative moon continent." People call him the 10,000-mile sword god and also the 10,000-mile sword emperor. My grandfather is the #1 sword expert in the accumulative moon continent. So your grandfather is the #1 sword expert in the accumulative moon continent. Taurus Longjiao laughed. Huang Kersen said, "My uncle is also powerful. He is an invincible lord of heaven and also the city lord of Ziluo City. Also, my uncle and Meng Hongyu of the Meng family are best friends. Meng Hongyu is the younger brother of Empress Meng Qiantong." Chapter 407. Meng Qiantong. Taurus Longjiao said. "Is this Meng Qiantong very famous?" After the two entered the immortal realm, the name they heard the most was Meng Qiantong. Huang Kersen and Chinitao looked at Taurus Longjiao weirdly as if they were looking at an alien. Of course Empress Meng Qiantong is very famous, very very famous. Huang Kerson's expression was a bit exaggerated. Brother Xiaojin, don't tell me you don't even know Empress Meng Qiantong. Taurus Longjiao was a bit embarrassed by Huang Kerson's exaggerated expression. I've been in seclusion with Master for many years and just came out, so I don't know. No wonder. Huang Kerson said. Empress Meng Qiantong is the most famous empress in the immortal realm and also the youngest empress. She cultivated for less than 3 million years and is already peak immortal emperor late stage. Peak immortal emperor late stage in less than 3 million years. Lu Yiping nodded. Such talent was rare. Huang Kerson said. Yes, Empress Meng Qiantong is the person all the girls in the immortal realm admire. She's very pretty, even prettier than my mother. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao looked at Chen Yitao. Chen Yitao blushed and said. Actually Kerson is right, Empress Meng Qiantong is prettier than me. She, Heavenly Queen Mother, Jiutian Mystical Maiden and Goddess Ho Tu are the 4 great beauties of the immortal realm. Heavenly Queen Mother is quite pretty. Taurus Longjiao smiled. Huang Kerson asked. Brother Xiaojin, have you seen Heavenly Queen Mother? Of course. Taurus Longjiao smiled. She likes our master a lot. Huang Kerson and Chen Yitao opened their mouth wide and looked at Lu Yiping in disbelief. Immortal Lord Hao Tian pursued Heavenly Queen Mother but never succeeded. This was something many people in the immortal realm knew. Heavenly Queen Mother didn't even like Immortal Lord Hao Tian, but she liked this person. Huang Kerson said in disbelief. Heavenly Queen Mother likes Big Brother. She suspected that her brother Xiaojin was boasting. Lu smiled. Don't listen to Xiaojin. He's just joking with you. Huang Kerson patted her chest and said, I thought brother Xiaojin was serious, so it was just a joke. I knew it, how could Queen Mother of the West like Big Brother? Lu Yiping smiled and said, why? Do you think Big Brother is not worthy of Queen Mother? Huang Kerson was stunned and explained. That's not it. I just don't think it's possible. Immortal Lord Hao Tian pursued Heavenly Queen Mother for tens of millions of years but never succeeded. I've never heard of Heavenly Queen Mother liking anyone. Taurus Longjiao wanted to say something but Lu Yiping stared at Taurus Longjiao. Taurus Longjiao could only shut his mouth. He took out a jade jar and poured it into his mouth. Chen Yitao noticed what Taurus Longjiao was drinking and exclaimed. Purple gold chaos water. Taurus Longjiao didn't mind. And, purple gold chaos water. Huang Kerson's round eyes widened. Big brother Xiaojin, do you usually drink the purple gold chaos water like this? She had seen her uncle and grandfather drinking the purple gold chaos water before and they would drip it drop by drop into their mouths. Taurus Longjiao was different. He took a jade jar the size of a wine jar and poured it into his mouth. Taurus Longjiao smiled. Yes, master, and I drink it like this. Actually, this purple gold chaos water tastes like plain water. He took out another jade jar from his spatial artifact and passed it to Huang Kerson. Huang Kerson took the jade jar and was stunned. She opened the jar and saw a jar full of purple gold chaos water. Brother Xiaojin, you gave this to me? Huang Kerson couldn't believe it. Taurus Longjiao smiled. Of course it's for you. Don't be stingy. There's more after you finish it. Huang Kerson swallowed. She thought about it and wanted to return the purple gold chaos water to Taurus Longjiao. Lu Yiping said, keep it. We have a lot of purple gold chaos water. We usually use it to water the trees and flowers. Water the trees and flowers? Chen Yitao didn't know what to say. In the end, Huang Kerson kept the purple gold chaos water. Big brother, thank you. Huang Kerson said seriously. When I grow up, I will repay you. Lu Yiping smiled. Oh, then when you grow up, how do you plan to repay us? Huang Kerson thought about it and said, when the time comes, I will earn a lot of money and give it to you. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao smiled. Chen Tao also smiled sweetly. They talked and laughed along the way. When they arrived at Ziluo City, it was dusk. The sun was setting in the west. There was a different kind of beauty. Ziluo City was very big. It was much bigger than Spirit Dragon City. It was very lively. Chen Tao had been here a few times. She was familiar with the city and found the city lord's residence. Who are you looking for? The guards at the gate didn't recognize Chen Tao. I want to see your city lord. Chen Tao took out a token. My name is Chen Tao. I am your city lord's younger sister. The guards were shocked. They took the token, and when they realized it was their city lord's token, they didn't dare to delay and rushed in to report. At this time, in the main hall of the city lord's residence, Chen Zifeng was listening to the housekeeper's report. Chen Zifeng asked solemnly, My sister, you still haven't found her? The housekeeper quickly said, Not yet. Then, he stuttered, I'm afraid Missy Tao has already. He stopped here and didn't dare to continue. Chen Zifeng's face was gloomy. Find out who annihilated the Dark Phoenix tribe. The news of the Dark Phoenix tribe's annihilation had spread, causing a huge commotion in the accumulated Moon mainland. When the Qin family's experts heard the news, they were furious. Who didn't know that the Dark Phoenix tribe and Qin family were close friends? Now that the Dark Phoenix tribe was annihilated, how could the Qin family not be angry? Right at this time, one of the guards rushed in and reported, Lord Castellan, there is a young lady named Chen Tao outside. She says she is your younger sister and wants to see you. What? Chen Zifeng was pleasantly surprised when he heard the news. He quickly rushed out of the residence. Outside the residence, Chen Zifeng saw Chen Yitao and Huang Kersen standing outside. Yitao, Kersen. Chen Zifeng called out in surprise. Big brother. Chen Yitao went up to greet Chen Zifeng, tears rolling down her cheeks. Big uncle. Huang Kersen hugged Chen Zifeng's thigh and cried loudly, Many of the Dark Phoenix tribe's uncles are dead. Chen Zifeng's eyes reddened and he patted Huang Kersen's back. Kersen, don't worry, Big Uncle will find the culprit and avenge your Dark Phoenix tribe's uncles. After Chen Yitao and Huang Kersen calmed down, Chen Zifeng looked at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Chapter 408. These two are. Chen Zifeng asked with a puzzled expression. Chen Yitao hurriedly introduced them to Chen Zifeng, Big brother, Kersen and I ran away from the Black Phoenix Mountain. We ran into bandits on the way and I suffered heavy injuries. It was Lord Lu and Lord Xiaojin who saved me. Otherwise, I would have died long ago. Chen Zifeng cupped his fists at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, Many thanks for saving my little sister. Zifeng is eternally grateful. His tone was sincere. It's nothing. Lu Yiping smiled. Huang Kersen said, Uncle, Big brother and Big brother Xiaojin are very powerful. Later on, we ran into a group of bandits in Bright Light City. Big brother Xiaojin only snorted once and they all died. Chen Zifeng was stunned. He smiled, Is that so? Huang Kersen's words carried no harm. How would she know what was powerful? Thus, he didn't take it to heart. Chen Zifeng then politely invited Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao into the residence. He then arranged a courtyard for Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. Meanwhile, Chen Zifeng summoned his sister, Chen Yitao, to the main hall and asked about the Dark Phoenix tribe and Chen Yitao's journey. Chen Yitao didn't hide anything and told him everything. Chen Zifeng was relieved when he found out that his sister Chen Yitao had escaped from the Black Phoenix race. Big brother, did no one from the Black Phoenix race escape? Chen Yitao suddenly asked Chen Zifeng. Chen Zifeng knew what his sister meant. He sighed and shook his head, none of the Black Phoenix race's experts should have escaped. Chen Yitao's face was pale, then what about Huang Huai? Huang Huai was Huang Kerson's father and her husband. Chen Zifeng shook his head and didn't say anything. Chen Yitao burst into tears. Don't worry, since it's confirmed that it's a human devil cultivator, we will definitely find the culprit and seek justice for the Black Phoenix race. Chen Zifeng comforted her. Chen Yitao nodded. By the way, do you know the background of that Master Lu? Chen Zifeng asked. Chen Yitao shook her head and said, No, I only know that his surname is Lu and that he wants to go to Demon Ox Mountain. Demonic Ox Mountain? Chen Zifeng was shocked. Purple-eyed Demonic Ox tribe? Are they from the Purple-eyed Ox Devil clan? They didn't mention that. Chen Yitao hesitated for a moment before saying, Big brother, Lord Lu is very strong. He shouldn't be weaker than Lord Father. What? Not weaker than Lord Father? Chen Zifeng exclaimed in shock, You're saying that he's a peak late-stage Immortal Emperor expert? Chen Yitao nodded. She then explained in detail how Taurus Longjiao killed the group of robbers. She also described the strange scene where the bodies of the robbers were suddenly blown away by the wind like loose sand. The strangest thing is that I didn't sense any energy fluctuations from Master Lu at that time, Chen Yitao said. But the corpses of those bandits just drifted away without any warning. Chen Zifeng's expression turned solemn. Also, that Lord Shaojin, he gave Kerson a jar of purple gold chaos water. Chen Yitao added, It's as big as a wine jar. She then used her hands to make an approximate shape of the jar. A wine jar of purple gold chaos water. Chen Zifeng was shocked again. Yes, he said that this purple gold chaos water tastes like plain water if one drinks too much. Sometimes, they use it to water trees and flowers. Chen Yitao added. Chen Zifeng was stunned. Oh right, big brother, Lord Shaojin also gave Kerson a top-grade immortal artifact small sword. Chen Yitao recalled something and said. She then took out the small sword and handed it over to Chen Zifeng. Chen Zifeng didn't pay much attention to it at first, but after taking a closer look, he was shocked. Could this be the Crimson Radiance Emperor's Crimson Radiance Sword? What, the Crimson Radiance Emperor's Crimson Radiance Sword? Chen Yitao was shocked. The Crimson Radiance Emperor Palace was annihilated in the past, the Crimson Radiance Emperor was killed, and the Crimson Radiance Sword's whereabouts are unknown. This is the Crimson Radiance Sword. In the past, the Crimson Radiance Emperor Palace provoked someone and was annihilated. Although millions of years had passed, many experts in the accumulated Moon mainland still remembered it. In the past, the Crimson Radiance Emperor Palace was the #1 force in the accumulated Moon mainland, and the Crimson Radiance Emperor was the #1 expert in the accumulated Moon mainland. After the Crimson Radiance Emperor Palace was annihilated, the Qin family became the #1 force in the accumulated Moon mainland, and her father, Qin Wanli, became the #1 expert in the accumulated Moon mainland. Chen Zifeng stared at the small sword in front of him and said, I'm not sure if this is the Crimson Radiance Sword, but Lord Father fought with the Crimson Radiance Emperor in the past. In a few days, you and I will return to the Chen family and let Lord Father see if this is the Crimson Radiance Sword. Chen Yitao nodded. If this is the Crimson Radiance Sword, then why is it in their hands? Chen Yitao asked, could it be that they were the ones who annihilated the Crimson Radiance Emperor Palace? The Crimson Radiance Emperor was an invincible immortal emperor. Anyone who could annihilate the Crimson Radiance Emperor Palace was a heavenly venerable. Chen Zifeng's expression turned solemn. Even if they weren't the ones who annihilated the Crimson Radiance Emperor Palace, I'm afraid it was the sect or elders behind them. Right at this time, a loud boom shook the Violet Silk City, shaking the city. What's going on? Chen Zifeng's face tightened, and he flew up to the Castellan Manor. When he arrived above the Castellan Manor, he saw that the originally sunny Violet Silk City was suddenly filled with devil chi. Rays of devil light shot up to the sky, enveloping the entire Violet Silk City. Clearly, someone had arranged a devil array formation to cover the entire Violet Silk City. Then, screams sounded from all directions of the Violet Silk City. One by one, masked black-robed men walked out from the devil Qi. Chen Tao, who followed Chen Zifeng out, saw this group of masked black-robed men, and her face was filled with shock and anger. Big brother, the Black Phoenix race's people were killed by them. Chen Zifeng was shocked. There were not many masked black-robed men, only 400 to 500 of them, but each of them had a strong aura. The leader sneered, "That's right, we annihilated the Black Phoenix race. Now, it's the Violet Silk City's turn. After we annihilate the Violet Silk City, the Qin family's main manor will be next." Chen Zifeng's heart sank. Why? In his memory, the Qin family did not seem to have any enmity with devil cultivators. Why? The leader of the masked black-robed men laughed loudly. "No reason, just because our Lord Holy Lord has chosen your cumulus continent." Chosen our cumulus continent? Chen Zifeng was puzzled. The masked black-robed man smiled. "Our Lord Holy Lord needs a batch of souls above the golden immortal realm, so he chose your cumulus continent." Chen Zifeng's face turned ugly. Did the other party mean that he wanted to collect souls above the golden immortal realm, so he wanted to kill all the powerhouses above the golden immortal realm in the cumulus continent? Chen Zifeng suddenly flashed, and the invincible heavenly lord's immortal power was activated to the extreme. The long sword in his hand slashed at the masked black-robed man's head. "As expected of an invincible heavenly lord, your strength is not weak." The leader of the masked black-robed men looked at the sword Qi slashing down and smiled indifferently. "It's a pity that you're just ants to me." Then, he flicked his finger. Chapter 409. A terrifying ray of light shot out from the black-robed leader's finger and pierced through Chen Zifeng's sword Qi. Before Chen Zifeng could react, the terrifying ray of light hit his chest. He felt a sharp pain in his chest and his body flew out like a broken kite. In the end, he smashed into the Castellan Manor. With a loud explosion, countless buildings in the Castellan Manor were smashed into pieces. Dust billowed. The divine armor on Chen Zifeng's chest was completely shattered by the black-robed leader's finger force. Chen Zifeng vomited blood non-stop, and there was a hole in his chest. Blood continued to spurt out from the hole. "Big brother." Chen Tao's face turned pale. She rushed to Chen Zifeng's side and called out anxiously. Chen Zifeng looked at the black-robed leader with fear in his eyes. Immortal Emperor. The black-robed leader in front of him was actually an immortal emperor. Moreover, it wasn't an ordinary immortal emperor. If it was an ordinary immortal emperor, with his invincible heavenly monarch realm strength, it was impossible for him to not be able to block a single attack. The black-robed leader chuckled. "Today, everyone in the Ziluo city will die." He then walked towards Chen Zifeng. "Since you're the Ziluo city's castellan, you'll be the first to die." As he spoke, his palm slammed down on Chen Zifeng. A black palm imprint the size of a mountain appeared above Chen Zifeng and Chen Tao's heads in an instant, and it slammed down. Before the palm imprint landed, Chen Tao felt like she was going to be crushed into pieces. "Mom!" A childish voice rang out. Huang Kersen cried as she rushed out from one of the Castellan Manor's courtyards. She wanted to rush towards Chen Tao and Chen Zifeng. When the black-robed leader saw Huang Kersen rushing out, he chuckled and increased the strength in his palm. The palm imprint expanded and enveloped Huang Kersen within it. Just as the palm imprint was about to turn Huang Kersen, Chen Tao, and Chen Zifeng into meat paste, the black palm imprint suddenly stopped in midair without any warning. Time and space seemed to have stopped. The black-robed leader and the group of black-robed men behind him were stunned. "I wonder which expert is here." The black-robed leader looked around and said solemnly, "Please come out." As soon as he finished speaking, two figures, one in blue and one in gold, walked out from a courtyard in the city lord's mansion. The two figures didn't walk very fast, but when they passed by the huge black palm print, the huge black palm print collapsed inch by inch, turning into wisps of black gas that dissipated with the wind. The leader of the masked men in black was shocked. This black palm print was condensed from the immortal emperor's power in his body. Even experts at the same level as him would not be able to disperse it silently. Who are you? The leader of the masked men in black stared at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao with a grave expression. Before he attacked, he had already checked. There were no immortal emperors in Ziluo City. These two people should not be from Ziluo City. Holy Master. Lu Yiping looked at him expressionlessly. You are the Yin-Yang Borer race's lackeys. Panic flashed in the eyes of the masked black-clothed leader. A large saber appeared in his hand, and he suddenly slashed at Lu Yiping. At the same time, he roared to his subordinates behind him, Kill! Kill everyone in Ziluo City. Looking at the incoming saber, Lu Yiping remained calm. With a flick of his finger, the leader of the masked men in black was sent flying. The huge saber in his hand shattered into countless pieces, scattering all over the ground. When the leader of the masked men in black crashed to the ground, his black robe, divine armor, and even his mask shattered, revealing the face of a middle-aged man. Seeing the middle-aged man's face, Chen Zifeng exclaimed, Purple Yang Immortal Emperor. Chen Yitao was also surprised. The Purple Yang Immortal Emperor was the patriarch of the Celestial Demon Palace on the Lingxiao continent, which was right next to the Baiyue continent. He was also a very famous Celestial Emperor on the Lingxiao continent. The Celestial Demon Palace had always been on good terms with the Chen clan. Is it the Celestial Devil Palace that annihilated the Dark Phoenix clan? Chen Zifeng was furious. The Purple Yang Immortal Emperor wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and looked at Lu Yiping in shock and anger. Hearing Chen Zifeng's words, he laughed but did not answer. At this time, the group of men in black scattered and rushed towards Ziluo City. When they were about to massacre the people in Ziluo City, Taurus Longjiao snorted coldly. With a flick of his finger, countless lightning bolts flew out. These lightning bolts instantly engulfed the group of men in black. When the lightning bolts disappeared, the group of men in black fell to the ground and turned into charred corpses. Chen Zifeng was shocked. Although he did not know the exact strength of these men in black, judging from the aura they exuded, each of them should be a lord of heaven. Two of them were even stronger than him and should be immortal emperors like the Purple Yang Immortal Emperor. But now, they were all killed by Taurus Longjiao with a flick of his finger. The Purple Yang Immortal Emperor was also shocked when he saw all the experts he brought with him were killed by Taurus Longjiao with a flick of his finger. Lu Yiping did not say anything. He grabbed the air and pulled the Purple Yang Immortal Emperor in front of him. The Purple Yang Immortal Emperor found that the strength in his body was completely sealed and he could not move at all. His eyes were filled with fear as he begged, My lord, please spare my life. We were just following orders. Lu Yiping said coldly, I know. After a pause, he said, That's why you deserve to die. Then, he struck out his palm and endless chaos divine flame rushed into the Purple Yang Immortal Emperor's body. After the chaos divine flame rushed into the Purple Yang Immortal Emperor's body, it destroyed everything in his body, including his internal organs. The Purple Yang Immortal Emperor screamed in pain. However, Lu Yiping controlled the power of the chaos divine flame and did not kill the Purple Yang Immortal Emperor immediately. Chen Zifeng, Chen Yitao, and the others were shocked and they saw the Purple Yang Immortal Emperor screaming in pain. One had to know that the Immortal Emperor's will was extremely strong and could endure almost any kind of pain. But now, the Purple Yang Immortal Emperor was still screaming in pain. After burning for a while, Lu Yiping extracted the Purple Yang Immortal Emperor's memory fragments. After looking through them, he flicked the Purple Yang Immortal Emperor away. When the Purple Yang Immortal Emperor was sent flying, the Chaos Divine Flame completely enveloped him.